Football, Ronaldo leaves the team, I become Real Madrid's top card. Chapter 81. 15 consecutive wins. New properties. Lin Chen's curtain call in the Bundesliga. Merely. Lin Chen still didn't get a particularly good shot on goal. When the Augsburg defenders saw Lin Chen receive the football at the top of the arc of the big penalty area. In a flash. One after another from the restricted area. Then, like a dog skin plaster, it was firmly attached to Lin Chen's surroundings. Without giving Lin Chen the slightest chance to shoot. As a stake-type center, Lin Chen's ability to break through with the ball is naturally not something he is good at. In desperation, it can only be passed back to his teammates. For the players at Augsburg, as soon as they saw Lin Chen receive the football, they instantly felt the pressure, whether it was inside the penalty area or outside the restricted area. Under the high mental concentration of the Augsburg players, Schalke 04 did not score for the remainder of the first half. The score was still frozen at 2 o'clock. Go into intermission. Huagua, who understands the net, also released the battle report of the midfield. Halftime battle report. Augsburg trailed Schalke 04 2-0 at home. Lin Chen equals the Gerd Müller record. Lin Chen killed all sides. Bang 50 goals in 15 rounds. Only one goal away from breaking the record. Augsburg fans are conquered. Lin Chen scored a goal, and the home fans gave applause. In the comment area under these war reports, the number of comments from Chinese fans reached tens of thousands in an instant. Among them, the ones with the highest number of likes are, "Too strong." After watching the first half of the game, I can only say that Lin Chen is too strong. Augsburg's defense doesn't put any pressure on Lin Chen at all. There is only one last goal left before breaking the record, and it seems that Lin Chen's achievements can be broken in the second half. Breaking the record is a certain thing. There are only 2 games left before Lin Chen left Schalke 04, and it will definitely be able to break the record. Yes, Lin Chen will definitely be able to break the record before leaving the Bundesliga. It only took half a season to break the record. I can only use the word horror to describe Lin Chen. Intermission. Inside the away team dressing room. According to the rhythm of previous games, Coach Turcodes will often take the initiative to replace Lin Chen in the half after establishing a huge lead in the first half. However, this evening Turcodes did not do so. For Turcodes, he is also very much looking forward to Lin Chen breaking the record in tonight's game. After all, he has successfully equaled Gerd Müller's record, and Lin Chen only needs to score another goal. On the other hand, the current score of Schalke 04 2-0 is not safe. And after replacing Lin Chen, go. This is undoubtedly a fatal blow to the entire Schalke 04 attack. Once the opponent has scored, the consequences are unimaginable. In short, for various reasons, Lin Chen still stayed on the court. 15 minutes later, the second half of the game officially begins. After Xinjian, the commentator of Sports Channel 5, saw Lin Chen continue to appear on the court, he also said into the microphone with emotion, "It seems that Lin Chen must be able to break the record tonight," and Coach Turcodes did not let Lin Chen get off the stand. Schalke 04 fans were equally emotional when they saw the team's hero continue to play in the second half. Once again, the fans of the Mine began to shout Lin Chen's name in a hoarse voice. Under the bursts of Lin Chen's cheers, the second half of the game officially begins. Since Lin Chen did not go off, for the players of Augsburg, they can only cope with the game in the first half. All 11 Augsburg players retreated to the back, especially around Lin Chen, almost full of Augsburg defenders. In the opening stages of the second half, both teams played relatively anxious but fast. The scene changed. Schalke 04 here. In order to let Lin Chen score as soon as possible, the 2 wingers also frequently began to look at the crosses on the wing. The 52nd minute of the game. Right winger Skobski forced a cross from near the baseline. It's just a pity. Skobski's pass landed too close to the goalkeeper and was confiscated by the Augsburg goalkeeper. But it didn't take long. Schalke 04 started attacking with a focus on the left flank. Ariat is a player who is better than Skobski on the right, both from breakthroughs and passes. And this time, Ariat also showed his talent. Ariat received a cross from Rudy on the left. Suddenly, The breakthrough was completed with the trend. Ariat did not move further after getting rid of the Augsburg fullback interference. Instead, he crosses directly with his left foot at 45 degrees. Ball to person 2. The football just fell in front of the goal at the same time. Lin Chen has also appeared in front of football. Of course, Augsburg's defenders were equally focused. Two central defenders, Govalu plus Sinter Egger, also appeared in this position with Lin Chen. Meantime, Augsburg's two midfield defenders, Bellicht, also appeared around Lin Chen. Time. Everyone thought that this pass would definitely be cleared by the Augsburg defenders. Almost 4 Augsburg defenders appeared in front of Lin Chen at the same time. Lin Chen made an unexpected move. Lin Chen supported his left foot and raised his right foot high, and then his arms supported the two central defenders of Augsburg, Sinter Eiger and Govalu, leaving the two central defenders unable to exert their strength at all. Immediately followed right foot volley. In a flash. The football is like a shooting star, speeding into the goal. Augsburg goalkeeper Luz couldn't react at all. He had done his best to make a save, but Lin Chen's volley was powerful to kick the thief. Plus, Lin Chen's shot was too close to the goal. Even if the Immortals come, it will be for nothing. Football should be on the net. 3-0. At the same time, more importantly, Lin Chen has scored 41 goals in a single season in the Bundesliga. Successfully broke the Bundesliga legend striker Gerd Muller's record of 50 goals. After Lin Chen scored the goal, he also looked very excited. He quickly ran to the goal, then jumped and stood on the billboard and hugged towards the away fan area. Time. The entire Schalke 04 fans have completely fallen into madness. Schalke 04's teammates also surrounded Lin Chen one after another, frantically patting Lin Chen's shoulder. Lin Chen. Lin Chen. Lin Chen. In the stands of the entire stadium. Not only the away fan stand, but the entire stadium stand, the fans spontaneously shouted Lin Chen's name. Even, there are some emotional fans who can't believe it all. They held their heads in their hands and made an exaggerated shock. Schalke 04 on the bench. Head coach Tekords also greeted his assistant coach and greeted each other. Although it is just an ordinary goal, the significance of this goal is incomparably great. The name Lin Chen is destined to be famous in the long history of the Bundesliga. He will become the idol of every German teenager in the future, and he will also become a pity. Lin Chen's fate with the Bundesliga, and Schalke 04's fate has gradually drifted away. Sports 5 stations. The commentator Xin Jian was also very excited. Oh my god. This is really incredible. In the long history of the Bundesliga, Lin Chen's name will be left. Similarly, for every Chinese fan, tonight will be a day that will never be forgotten. A striker from China broke the 46-year-old Bundesliga single-season goal record. Lin Chen's name surpassed Kai Lewandowski, Klose, Gerd Muller, and became the holder for the most goals scored in a single season in the history of the Bundesliga. There is no doubt that Lin Chen has become a superstar comparable to Messi and Ronaldo. Almost in the Bundesliga, Lin Chen has not many defensive players who are Lin Chen's opponents. Xin Jian's mood was very high. Perhaps this was the first time he had been so excited as a commentator. He can be proud to be a Chinese narrator. The game continues. Despite the fact that the Augsburg players at home still did not admit defeat, they attacked the Schalke 04 goal as soon as they kicked off. But this is nothing more than some symbolic attack. It did not pose any threat to Schalke 04's goal. When Lin Chen scored a hat-trick and broke the record held by Gerd Muller, it was a fatal blow for every Augsburg player. Today's Augsburg player mentality is like an explosion. The only thing they want is to get the game over as soon as possible. Tekords was also afraid that the Augsburg players would make a rude foul on Lin Chen because of their mental explosion, so after another 5 minutes of the game, Tekords replaced Lin Chen again with young player Mbaro. When the fourth officer raises the substitution number plate, the fans at the scene took the initiative to stand up from the stands almost at the same time, and then sent warm applause to Lin Chen. Tonight, Lin Chen not only broke the record held by Gerd Muller, but also conquered the race seeking at Augsburg on the spot. Back on the bench, all the coaching staff members and substitute players also took the initiative to stand up and greet Lin E. In this evening, together they witnessed Lin Chen making history. Maybe. Lin Chen's goal record may also be dusted for 46 years, or even longer. And most importantly, 51 goals is not the end of Lin's record. He still has time to extend his goal record. We can clearly see through the TV broadcast camera that when Lin Chen replaced Xiaoqing, the fans spontaneously gave a standing ovation, and after Lin Chen returned to the bench, every staff member also came to congratulate Lin Chen. As a Chinese player, it is really not easy to break the single-season record in the Bundesliga. Lin Chen. I'm so proud of you. When Xinjian saw this scene, he was also quite moved in his heart. The game continues. But after Lin Chen left the field, the highlights of this game instantly became boring. The players of both teams did not show too good pictures during the game. Ultimately, the 90-minute game is over. The away Schalke 04 relied on Lin Chen's hat-trick to help Schalke 04 win 3-0 against Augsburg. At the same time, Schalke 04 also achieved a record 15 consecutive wins. After the game, Lin Chen received a new reminder from the system. Unlock new attribute, set piece, 40. As with the new stats unlocked before, the initial value of set pieces is only 40. Lin Chen can increase the set piece attribute, then he will have an extra killer weapon in his goal arsenal. Subsequently, Lin Chen opened all his current attributes. Body, 100, Stamina, 100. Breakaway, 50, Dribble 95, Shot, 70, Speed, 93, Defense 30, Pass, 40. Steals 40, Set pieces 40, Buff, Shooter Instinct remaining stats, 21. Now Lin Chen still uses 21 attribute points is useless. In Lin Chen's opinion, he is about to join Real Madrid to face the La Liga game, naturally to increase the attribute of passing. After all, Xiangui is a representative group exhibition of the technical genre. If you want to get a foothold in La Liga, you have to have some passing skills. Thereupon, Lin Chen didn't do anything else, so he directly added all the remaining 19 attribute points to the pass. Pass, 61. At the post-match press conference, Schalke 04's head coach, Coach Turcodes, was beaming, not only with a 3-point game, but more importantly with his own demon striker breaking Gedmu. Loh holds the Bundesliga goal record for 46 years. In an interview with reporters, Turcodes expressed his appreciation for Wang Lin Chen without saying a word. Without a doubt, Lin Chen is the greatest shooter I have ever seen. He has a strong body, great speed and, above all, as long as Lin Chen is in the box, he can score. I haven't seen such an all-round center for a long time, and now, many people are talking about Ronaldo and Messi, but in my opinion, Lin Chen will break the peerless double arrogance of Ronaldo and Messi, and in the future, Lin Chen is the real king of the ball. It's not that I'm deliberately touting, it's a fact, you know, the record for goals scored in a single season, the greatest striker in the history of the Bundesliga, Gerd Müller, was broken by Lin Chen in less than half a season. Now you can take a look, La Liga goalscorer list and Serie A goalscorer list, whether it is Messi or Ronaldo, their goal efficiency cannot be compared with Lin Chen. After returning to the dressing room, Schalke 04 players are also quite excited, although this is a record broken by Lin Chen, but for Schalke 04 players, they also feel extremely proud. The next day, famous sports media throughout Europe have reported the news of Lin Chen's record-breaking. Marca, mysterious striker from the East. Lin Chen scored 51 goals in 15 games. He will become the new legend of the Bundesliga. Kicker, Bundesliga single-season new record is born. Main striker Lin Chen scored 51 goals. Chao Gerd Müller. Madrid Evening News, Real Madrid's children work wonders, scoring 51 goals in 15 games. Break the Bundesliga record. Can he be the savior of Real Madrid? Time. Almost all 5 major leagues, and even the whole region of Europe's Cumaman are talking about Lin Chen. Even on Twitter, an entry suddenly went viral. The name of this entry is, "What is Lin Chen's divine nature?" After all, for most fans, especially those who have not watched Lin Chen play, they simply can't believe that a Chinese player can break Gerd Müller's record, and what is even more terrifying is that it only took 15 games. Time, Lin Chen has become the most talked about topic among fans. However, for Lin Chen, he ignored the world and was only focused on training. 5 days later, Lin Chen ushered in his penultimate game in the Bundesliga. And this game is away to Stuttgart. Another difficult opponent. At present, Stuttgart is ranked 5th in the Bundesliga, and its strength cannot be underestimated, and in Stuttgart's current squad, Mario Gomez and Gentner are all first-class stars in the Bundesliga. Moreover, this game is still played away from home, and the difficulty is really not small. Chapter 82. You are the center. What the hell is it that 4 people have broken through the door one by one? Shocked the audience. In the pre-match press conference, Stuttgart's head coach, Villiers, was still relatively low-key. He lowered his position quite low. First of all, congratulations to Lin Chen, he is a great goalscorer. To be able to break the 46-year incentive of Gerd Müller, which is not an easy task, we will do our best to stop Lin Chen's shot in a few nights. Stuttgart's home stadium is the Stade Atletico Medzas. The stadium can accommodate 25,000 simultaneous spectators. And tonight, grandstand at the Stadium Atletico de Medzas. Tens of thousands of fans have been waiting for it for a long time. Apparently, attendance was significantly higher in this game than in other races of the season. Most of the fans who came to the stadium came to watch Lin Chen. They wanted to know who the player who broke Gerd Müller's single-season goal record was. Soon, in the studio of Sports Channel 5, commentator Shin Jian also began to announce the starting lists of the two teams. Welcome to watch the Bundesliga Round 16, Gadist vs Schalke 04. Let's introduce you to the starting lists of the two teams. On the home side of Stuttgart, the goalkeeper position is Ziller, and the 4 defenders are Beck, Baumgart, Kempf and Insua. 2 midfielders, Gentner plus Askasival. 3 front court players, Twomey, Diadavi, Gonzalez. Solo striker Mario Gomez. On the Schalke 04 side away from home, coach Tekords continues to field 343 formations. The specific position is as follows: the goalkeeper position is still Captain Feuermann. The 3 center-backs are Nastasic, Salif Sane, Stambly. For midfielders, Ochipka, Bentaleb, Zelda, Kalihuri. The 3 strikers are Konoplyanka, Lin Chen and Shepf. It is worth mentioning that tonight Schalke 04's main striker, Lin Chen, also appeared in the starting list again. In the last game, Lin Chen once used a hat-trick to successfully defeat Augsburg. At the same time, Lin Chen also successfully broke Gerd Müller's single-season goal record in the match with Augsburg. If nothing else, tonight, Lin Chen will definitely be able to expand the Bundesliga record. As for how many can be expanded, fans can look forward to it. With the referee's whistle, the big war began. Stuttgart, playing at home, did not choose to shrink their defense. It can be said that from the first minute of the game, the Stuttgart players quickly entered the state, and the midfield captain Gentner received the return pass from the front court, and immediately succeeded in handing the football to the toe on the right wing. The latter is a player with great breakthrough ability. If he could give him a chance, the player would definitely do his best. Sure enough, after Toomey received the football, suddenly accelerated moment. At the speed of a 100-meter sprint, he forcibly attacked Schalke 04's fullback Kalihuri. Thankfully, Caligiuri is also a player who is not slow. Kalihuri has always been stuck in position to prevent his opponent from forcing an internal cut. After seeing that it was impossible to get rid of Kalihuri, Twomey also changed his offensive style. I saw that after the sudden stop, he first made a fake action of passing, deliberately let Kalihuri interfere, and then accelerated for the second time. In an instant, football completed the breakthrough. Near the bottom line, Tommy finally got a chance to pass the ball. Moment. After making a beautiful arc over the Mercedes Stadium, the football landed perfectly inside the Schalke 04 penalty area. This time, striker Maris Gomez received the football and did not hesitate at all. Immediately completed the header to the top. Fortunately, central defenders Nastasic and Salif Sane, both in front of Maris Gomez, interfered by these 2 top defenders. Maris Gomez couldn't find a chance at all. Ultimately, the football was successfully cleared by Schalke 04's defenders. It didn't take long for Schalke 04, who was playing away, to also get an attacking opportunity. Judging by the formation of the troops in T-codes, Schalke 04 basically fielded the strongest lineup. After midfielder Bentaleb received the football, his first choice was naturally to find Lin Chen. However, Gatust's defenders have already guessed it. They dare not be careless. The first time rushed in front of Lin Chen. Two central defenders, Baumgart and Kempf, immediately made a corner move towards Lin Chen, if the football was passed to Lin Chen. These two Gattuso's central defenders will definitely appear in front of Lin Chen at the first time. Apparently, Bentaleb also guessed the opponent's defensive intentions. So, Bentaleb simply made a feint to shoot, and then, the next second, Bentaleb suddenly accelerated. Bentaleb managed to reach the top of the arc in the penalty area. At the moment, it is more uncomfortable for Gattuso's defenders. It is not possible to let Bentaleb enter the restricted area, and at the same time, it is necessary to restrict Lin Chen in the restricted area. Just when the defensive player hesitated, Bentaleb suddenly sent a straight kick. In an instant, the football quickly streaked through the position between these two defensive players. In the end, the football came to Lin Chen's feet. As the striker with the highest goal-scoring efficiency in the entire 5 major leagues at present, basically, when Lin Chen received the football, it basically meant that Stuttgart had conceded the goal. Sure enough, facing the attacking goalkeeper, Lin Chen pretended to shoot a real buckle, and in an instant, he easily passed the goalkeeper. Then, pushed the empty door to score. When Lin Chen scored, his name sounded over the stadium again. As of this game, Lin Chen has scored 52 goals this season. Successfully increased Giedmüller's goal count to 2. Sure enough, as long as the football is passed to Lin Chen's feet, Lin Qiuwang will definitely be able to break the opponent's ball. It's really too strong, although Gattuso's defenders have tried their best, but unfortunately, things backfired, and no one could stop Lin Chen's advance. In this way, Lin Chen's goal count this season has successfully reached 42. The most important thing is that Lin Chen can still score goals. Sports Channel 5 commentator, Shin Jian said slowly. At this moment, in the home team fan stand, there are still many fans shouting Lin Chen's name. It's really too strong. It's worthy of being a striker who can break Gerd Muller's goal record. Hey, it seems that there is no suspense in the game tonight. With my knowledge of the Gattuso defenders, they have no way to limit Lin Chen's shot. A game without suspense. Perhaps the only suspense is to see how many goals Lin Chen can achieve. For their part, the home side Gattuso fans have no hope for tonight's game. Truly. In the first half, just 10 minutes, Lin Chen has already led the first goal. According to Lin Chen's offensive efficiency, at least 2 goals in the first half is still a conservative estimate. After the re-kickoff, the players of Stuttgart did not give up. Although the fans in the stands have given up, the players are still trying. It didn't take long. The Gattuso's players went on the offensive like crazy. Especially striker Mario Gomez. At present, Mario Gomez has scored 9 goals in the Bundesliga this season and is still in pretty good form. Especially in the last 3 games, almost every goal. Therefore, this evening, Mario Gomez, a player, is also very eager to score in the battle with Lin Chen. In the restricted area, Mario Gomez also frequently asked his midfielder for the ball 5 minutes later. The Gattuso striker has finally found an opportunity to attack. This time Gattuso's attack on the left flank. After receiving the football, Gonzalez did not hesitate and immediately launched an attack on the side of Schalke 04. This is characteristic of Gonzalez. As a wide player, Gonzalez is very good at making things on the wing. Admittedly, the player does have 2 brushes. Successive stop-and-go changes in front of the court left Schalke 04's defender Ochipka with no way at all. 3 seconds later, Gonzalez managed to break into the penalty area. This was undoubtedly a wake-up call for Schalke 04's defenders. Time. 3 defensive players appeared in front of Gonzalez. Gonzalez's one-on-one breakthrough success rate is still relatively high, but if Gonzalez faces 3 defenders at the same time and completes the breakthrough again, it is really difficult. Ultimately, Gonzalez eventually lost himself under the interference of Schalke 04's many defensive players. Ball lost. Keep along. It was Schalke 04's chance to attack. In a flash, midfielder Zelda received the football. This player still has a relatively high football IQ, he knows it very well. Most of Stuttgart's defenders will definitely focus on Lin Chen now. So, Zelda did the opposite. He did not immediately hand over the football to Lin Chen on the line of the big penalty area like other players. Instead, he passed the football directly to the rib gap of the opponent's fullback and central defender. Instantly, another player, Schepf, appeared in this position. It can be said that Zelda's pass directly tore the entire Stuttgart defense. After receiving the football, Schopf immediately attracted the attention of several Stuttgart defenders. Soon, the two defenders rushed towards Schepf like a tiger, and this happened to be the result that Schepf hoped to see. Next second, Schepf made a light dunk and immediately made a cross pass. That's it. Lin Chen, who was at the penalty spot, received the football. At this time, there were still three defensive players around Lin Chen, namely Baker, Baumgartel, and Kempf. These three Stuttgart defenders are like Lin Chen's left and right protectors. No matter where Lin Chen appeared, these three players would definitely follow. But when Lin Chen received the football, everything changed. Lin Chen's mind and its calmness. He resolutely made a shooting motion. Right at this very moment, Baker, the defensive player closest to Lin Chen, immediately made a sliding tackle, but just as Beck interfered, Baker regretted it. Because this is Lin Chen's fake action. But Baker was powerless. Immediately after, Lin Chen made a shooting motion in the next second. Meanwhile, two defenders, Baumgartel and Kempf, also made disruptive moves. But this time, Lin Chen also made a fake move. This rather deceptive shot directly deceived two Stuttgart center-backs. After using a feint, he managed to get rid of three defensive players. Next second, Lin Chen suddenly accelerated again. Resolutely rushed towards the opponent's goal. This time, goalkeeper Ziller did not choose to sit on the goal line, but took the initiative. He knows very well that such an excellent striker as Lin Chen, if not proactively, then it is like a lamb to be slaughtered. At all costs, goalkeeper Ziller has to gamble. It's just a pity. Lin Chen concocted the same way, and when Chila was about to appear in front of him, he decisively made a shooting action. After seeing this, Chila did not dare to be careless. Immediately made a save. I don't know. This is also Lin Chen's fake action. In the space of 5 seconds, Lin Chen made 3 consecutive feints and got rid of 4 players in one go. And then, next, there are no more defensive players in front of Lin Chen, and there is only one thing he needs to do, that is, to push the football into the empty goal. Boom. The football flew steadily into the goal. He did it. The score was rewritten again. 2-0. Brace. This has almost become the standard for Lin Chen in every game. It's Lin Chen again. He scored twice again. Under the interference of the 3 Stuttgart players, Lin Chen successfully passed the defensive players with the ultimate feint. He succeeded with a great shot, a second time against the opponent's goal. At the same time, Lin Chen also extended the Bundesliga single-season goal record to 53. Sports 5 commentator, Xin Jian can no longer control his emotions. In the stands, a large number of fans all held their heads in their hands and made incredible expressions. In their opinion, this is not at all a technical move that a 3.0 center with a height of more than 1 meter and 9 meters can make. Lin Chen's little technique is really strong. Another bless. It seems that there is really no suspense tonight. What the hell are the defensive players doing? Unexpectedly deceived by a high school forward. 53 goals. I really can't imagine how many goals Lin Chen can increase in the number of goals in the Bundesliga in a single season tonight. For the players in Stuttgart, they now have only one way left to defend Mainz's home stadium, and Stuttgart's players must go crazy and attack for the rest of their time. After kickoff, there is no ink in Stuttgart. Central defender Kempf directly struck a long pass. Successfully passed the football to the front. On the scramble for the first point, striker Mario Gomez managed to steal it. After the latter took control of the main football, but just as he was about to make a shot, the defenders also appeared in front of him. 2 Schalke 04 defenders appeared in front of Mario Gomez almost simultaneously. In the end, Mario Gomez's shot was eventually cleared. Through this attack, the gap between Mario Gomez and Lin Chen can be clearly seen. For Lin Chen, if there is no good shooting opportunity, he will definitely look for it himself and then create a shooting opportunity. However, for Mario Gomez, even if there is no chance to score, he still has to shoot. In the blink of an eye, The last 10 minutes of the game in the first half have arrived. At this time, Schalke 04, who was playing away, also launched another attack towards the goal of Stuttgart. It seems that the score of 2-0 is not satisfactory for Schalke 04. Thereupon, in the final moments of the first half, Lin Chen scored again. Chapter 83. The youngest Schalke legend. You give us victory, we cheer you on. In the stands, a large number of fans all held their heads in their hands and made incredible expressions. In their opinion, this is not at all a technical move that a center with a height of more than 1.9 meters can make. Lin Chen's little technique is really strong. Another bless. It seems that there is really no suspense tonight. What the hell are the defensive players doing? Unexpectedly deceived by a high school forward. I really can't imagine how many goals Lin Chen can increase in the number of goals in the Bundesliga in a single season tonight. For the players in Stuttgart, they now have only one way left to defend the home of Miedzas, and Stuttgart's players will have to spend the rest of their time frantically attacking after kickoff. There is no ink in Stuttgart. Central defender Kempf directly struck a long pass. Successfully passed the football to the front. On the scramble for the first point, striker Mario Gomez managed to steal it. After the latter took control of the main football, but just as he was about to make a shot, the defenders also appeared in front of him. Two Schalke 04 defenders appeared in front of Mario Gomez almost simultaneously. In the end, Mario Gomez's shot was eventually cleared. Through this attack, the gap between Mario Gomez and Lin Chen can be clearly seen. For Lin Chen, if there is no good shooting opportunity, he will definitely look for it himself and then create a shooting opportunity. However, for Mario Gomez, even if there is no chance to score, he still has to shoot. In the blink of an eye, the last 10 minutes of the game in the first half have arrived. At this time, Schalke 04, who was playing away, also launched another attack towards the goal of Stuttgart. It seems that the score of 2-0 is not satisfactory for Schalke 04. Thereupon, in the final moments of the first half, Lin Chen scored again. It was a corner kick. Penalty taker Zelda quickly fired the ball with his right foot. A beautiful arc fell into Lin Chen's feet with incomparable precision. Faced with such a great opportunity, how could Lin Chen miss it? I saw that Lin Chen jumped and soared into the air, and then the fish jumped to the top, and a heavy header 28 broke through the goal guarded by Ziller. The score is 3:00. Lin Chen, once again, before the end of the first half of the game, completed a hat-trick. In the time after that, neither player has many chances. Ultimately, the score was frozen at halftime at 3:00. Lin Chen's goal collection of 4 players in the penalty area has been practiced with feints in a row, and it has also become the hottest sports video on social platforms. Less than 10 minutes. Tens of thousands of fans liked and commented. This goal reminds me of Ibrahimovic's classic goal in the Eredivisie. Now the number of goals scored in the Bundesliga has reached 53. If Lin Chen can still play in the second half, maybe he can continue to expand. It seems that Lin Chen's Bundesliga goal record is destined to be sealed for decades. Gerd Muller's record of 50 goals has been held for 46 years, and Lin Chen now has a goal record. It will definitely be longer. In the second half, coach Tekords did not replace Lin Chen. After all, this is Lin Chen's penultimate game for Schalke 04, and coach Tekords also hopes that Lin Chen can score a few more goals. At the same time, this is also the wish of many Schalke 04 fans. After the start of the second half, when the fans of Stuttgart saw that Lin Chen was still staying on the field, their faces were full of despair. The 75th minute of the match. After Lin Chen got the ball in the box, when he was about to make a shot, this time, he was directly dragged to the ground by the defender from behind. Apparently, Stuttgart's defensive players have developed a great fear of Lin Chen. They were afraid that Lin Chen was deceiving through fake movements continuously, like in the first half. Thereupon, this time, the central defender Kempf did not stop and dragged Lin Chen directly from behind. Anyway, Lin Chen still has to score in the end. It's better to let Lin Chen shoot a penalty. And, no matter how big a player, he will fall on the 12-yard point. Whether it's Cristiano Ronaldo or Messi, they've both conceded penalties. But Lin Chen is different. He stood on the penalty spot and did not make any feints to deceive the goalkeeper, but directly volleyed. In an instant, the football flew into the goal of Ziller's guard like a cannonball. 4-0. 5 minutes later, Lin Chen staged a whirlwind wave attack on the line of the big penalty area. The football hits again. 5 minutes, 2 goals in a row. At this time, the Stuttgart players playing at home were completely mentally broken. In the end, the whole game was over, and Lin Chen won the 5th Sundenko. Schalke 04 beat Stuttgart 5-0. At the same time, Lin Chen's single-season goals reached 55. After the game, Lin Chen also specifically expressed his gratitude to Schalke 04 fans. He posted a picture of his celebration after his last goal on Ins, and with the text, "Victory is for you." Less than an hour later, below Lin Chen's comment area has become a gathering place for Schalke 04 fans. Countless Schalke 04 fans left messages to Lin Chen. Lin Chen, don't leave Schalke 04. You are already a legend of Schalke 04, we need you. Don't go. Wow, help Schalke 04 win the Bundesliga title. Hey, don't force people to be difficult, water flows low, people go high. I have now become a fan of Lin Chen. As long as Lin Chen joins which team, I am a fan of which team. Always support you, Lin Chen. Schalke 04's goal is always open for you. Although Schalke 04 has won 16 consecutive victories tonight, the thought of the top scorer Lin Chen leaving Madrid makes Schalke 04 fans not happy. Even full of sadness. December 22nd. Vergehen Stadium. Round 17 of the Bundesliga. Schalke 04 takes on Bayer Leverkusen. This will be Lin Chen's last match at Schalke 04. No doubt. This match, for a large number of Schalke 04 fans, is equivalent to the most important match in life. Before the start of the game, as soon as tickets for this match were released, they were instantly sold out by Schalke 04 fans. This is the final match for the greatest striker in Schalke 04 history, and for Schalke 04 fans, they must be on hand no matter what. After all, Lin Chen has now become the king in the heart of every Schalke 04. Although Lin Chen has only played for Schalke 04 for half a season, it is undeniable. Lin Chen is basically equivalent to God in the minds of Schalke 04 fans. So, this farewell battle for Lin Chen. For every Schalke 04 fan, it is necessary to say goodbye to Lin Chen on the spot. At the pre-match press conference, head coach Tekords also expressed his views on the game. This match is very important for every Schalke 04 fan, and if nothing else, it will be Lin Chen's last home stadium at Schalke 04. I believe that every Schalke 04 player will bid farewell to Lin Chen with a hearty victory, and likewise, Lin Chen will definitely be able to play his best strength. Let's wait and see. For Schalke 04's opponent Bayer Leverkusen, there is no doubt that this match is also Alexander. Presently, Bayer Leverkusen are third in the Bundesliga standings. A proper Bundesliga giant. Coach Bosch and his expertise in building teams, and Bayer Leverkusen are now relatively consistent at both ends of the offensive and defensive ends, without too many holes. Plus, Bayer Leverkusen also has Kai Havertz in their squad. The youngster, born in 1999, has quickly become the current star of Bayer Leverkusen under the guidance of Coach Bosch, and the 189 centimeters tall Havertz can not only rely on his skill in midfield to create opportunities for his teammates, but also be able to play on the front line and give full play to his ability to play from above. As of now, Bayer Leverkusen are already unbeaten in 8 games in the Bundesliga. Strength should not be underestimated. And the ancestors of this team are also quite generous. In 1904, the famous German pharmaceutical company Bayer established a gymnastics club, and in 1903, the football department declared independence and formed Bayer 04 Bayer Leverkusen Football Club. That's why fans like to call Bayer Leverkusen a pharmaceutical company. In 1995, Worrell, who had retired as a sports manager, persuaded former Stuttgart coach Dom to return from Turkey to coach. After Coach Dom took over, he adopted an all-attacking and all-defense style of play, which completely changed Leverkusen's technical and tactical play, and at the same time, Coach Dom also strictly managed the army, making the whole team of Bayer Leverkusen look new. Finally, in the 1996-1998 two seasons, he won the second and third place in the Bundesliga. Since then, Bayer Leverkusen has gradually become a big team in the Bundesliga. Tonight. For Schalke 04, it is not an easy task to win in Lin Chen's farewell match. 10 o'clock in the evening. Fans have already arrived in the stands of the Ferian Stadium. In total, the Ferian Stadium can accommodate around 54,000 people, but it is clear this evening that the attendance has far exceeded that number. In the aisles of the fans, in the corridors, it was already crowded with fans. And almost every Schalke 04 fan spontaneously wore Lin Chen's jersey. I hope to express my love and reluctance for Lin Chen in this way. Now. Inside the player tunnel. The starters on both sides held caddies in their hands, waiting to see the appearance. After seeing Lin Chen, many caddies also shouted Lin Chen's name madly. Obviously, Lin Chen has become the motivation and idol for children to play football. Lin Chen also shook hands with these little caddies one by one. The power of role models is infinite. Among these little caddies, in the next 10 years, there may be players like Lin Chen. Sports Channel 5 commentator Xin Jian also began to announce the starting lists of the two teams. Welcome fans and friends to watch the 17th round of the Bundesliga. Schalke 04 host Bayer Leverkusen. If nothing else, tonight's match will be Lin Chen's farewell performance at Schalke 04, and I hope that Lin Chen can have a perfect end. When he came, he was a young man, and when he left, he was already a ball king. Introduce the starting list of the two teams. On the Schalke 04 side playing at home, the goalkeeper position is still Captain Fellman. The three defenders are Stambly, Salif Sane, Nastasic. For midfielders, Caligiuri, Bentaleb, McKennie, Ochipka. Three strikers, Shepf, Lin Chen, Amin Ali. On the away side of Bayer Leverkusen, manager Bosch is also facing Schalke 04 with the strongest squad. The goalkeeper position is Ledecki. For defenders, Wendell Dragovic, Jonathan, Mitchell Weiser. Two backs, Captain Baumgartlinger, Dominic Cole. Three midfielders, Leon, Kai Havertz, Bellerby. Single striker, Arario. When the commentator Xin Jian finished introducing the starting list of the two teams, the TV broadcast camera also cut to Lin Chen, who was waiting. For Lin Chen, he was obviously used to seeing big scenes, so his face at the moment did not show a sense of tension, but more of a pleasure. Enjoy a race in the last 750 at Schalke 04. Soon, under the leadership of referee Aitken, the starters of both sides slowly walked out of the player tunnel. On Schalke 04's side, Lin Chen, as the key figure of this game, is naturally the finale. However, at the moment when Lin Chen just walked out of the player tunnel, a huge poster of himself celebrating his goal was displayed in the main stand. It also wrote specifically in Chinese, "Thank you, Lin Chen, you will always be the king of Schalke." Lin Chen saw more banners being held high by the fans. Lin Chen, Shabad Ko 04 will never forget you. Children of Real Madrid, the savior of Schalke 04. Half a season, Lin Chen is already the god of Schalke 04. Thank you Lin Chen, the door of Schalke 04 is always open for you. Short but good memories, Lin Chen, Schalke's eternal shooter king. The Schalke 04 fans in the stands were almost frantically shouting Lin Chen's name, because they knew that if they didn't shout again, they wouldn't have the opportunity to cheer in the future. Lin Chen. Lin Chen. Lin Chen. At this moment, Lin Chen deeply felt the enthusiasm of Schalke 04. He forced tears back to his eyes, and at this moment, Lin Chen really understood how sad Ronaldo was when he left Real Madrid. He finally understood the sadness of Henry's departure from Arsenal. Football is not just about victory, it's about emotions. The emotions of the fans for the players, the emotions of the players for the team. Although Lin Chen was holding back tears, the commentator Xin Jian was already excited. He said hysterically into the microphone, "It's really shocking." In the stands of the entire Ferian Stadium, almost all the fans of Schalke 04 were shouting Lin Chen's name, and the fans had been holding their own self-made posters and banners. At this moment, Lin Chen seems to have become a god in the hearts of Schalke 04 fans. For so many years, this is the first time that a Chinese player can have such a big face. Lin Chen has become an epic-making star, and his significance has completely surpassed the NBA's Dayo. The Ferian Stadium is the home of Schalke 04, the home of German fans, but at this moment, the stands of this stadium are full of posters with Chinese characters and Lin Chen, which is really shocking. You know, Lin Chen has only played for Schalke 04 for half a season, but he has become the first star in the history of Schalke 04. After the players walked to the field, whether it was the players of Schalke 04 or the fans of Bayer Leverkusen, they couldn't help but look at Lin Chen, and their eyes were also full of envy for Lin Chen. Especially Bayer Leverkusen's young player Havertz. After seeing this scene, he also sighed in his heart, "I really envy, if only I could have such a big pump when I left Bayer Leverkusen." After the two teams shook hands with each other, the two sides also set up a formation, and Lin Chen walked near the middle circle to prepare for the start of this game. Chapter 84. The number he left behind is the goal that all players pursue in the future. With the referee's whistle, the battle officially begins. On the stands of the Ferian Stadium, tens of thousands of Schalke 04 fans also immediately cheered. They shouted Lin Chen's name hysterically. For Schalke 04 fans, they naturally hoped to see more goals in Lin Chen's last home game. On the pitch, Schalke 04 is controlling the pace of the game. Perhaps because of the large number of fans present tonight, Schalke 04's players looked quite excited during the game. Just 5 minutes to start, Schalke 04 was given the opportunity to attack. The core of midfield, McKennie, strode forward with the ball like a meteor, and it didn't take long for Bayer Leverkusen's defenders to be in place. Two front court players, Leon and Bellera, quickly appeared in McKennie's path. McKennie is not a player who is good at breaking through. After he stopped suddenly. Sudden change of direction. But both defensive players have managed to card the owner position, basically. If McKennie forced a breakthrough, he was likely to concede the goal. Under such a premise, McKennie chose to be on the safe side. A long diagonal pass found Shep on the right. In the last game, Shep played quite well and once gave Lin Chen an assist. And this evening, Shep was more positive. After receiving McKennie's long pass, Shep also did not hesitate, and without saying a word, he killed towards the opponent's big penalty area. 5 seconds later, McKennie has already broken through to the top of the penalty area. Bayer Leverkusen is the third most ranked team in the Bundesliga, behind Schalke 04 and Bayern Munich, so Bayer Leverkusen's defense is still doing quite well. They have not conceded a goal in 5 consecutive games. The two back players saw that Shep had reached the top of the arc in the box and immediately completed the fill-in. Baumgartlinger and Dominic Cole are both physically strong backers. So, the defensive strategy of these two players is also fairly simple. Directly engage in physical confrontation with Shep. After the latter saw these two strong men and dust servants coming towards him, his heart naturally couldn't help but get nervous. In a hurry, Shep could only make a hasty passing motion. That's it. Mistake. The football flew into the box. In the position of the approximate penalty spot, Lin Chen has already jumped high. However, at this time, Lin Chen happened to face the goal with his back. Even if you grab the first point, it is basically impossible to threaten the goal. Thereupon, Lin Chen chose to head back. Moment. The football flew in front of midfielder Bentaleb. Moreover, Bentaleb was surrounded by players from Bayer Leverkusen. Bentaleb opens his bow and arrows. Raise your feet and shoot angrily. Bang. The shot hit the goal post abruptly. It's such a shame. Lin Chen's ball this time can be called perfect, Bentaleb's shot this time is a little too pursuing angles. Sports Channel 5 reporter, Shin Jian couldn't help but feel a little regret when he saw this scene. The game continues. Bentaleb's shot was also a wake-up call for Bayer Leverkusen's players. Head coach Bose immediately ran to the sidelines, and then hysterically yelled at his disciples, "Stay focused. Be sure to be optimistic about the second point. It doesn't matter if Lin Chen grabs the first point, the main thing is to protect the second point." Bayer Leverkusen's coach knows it all too well. With the current strength of Bayer Leverkusen's defensive players, it is almost impossible to gain an advantage in the point grab with Lin Chen. That being the case, it is better to focus on the protection of the second point of defense. 5 minutes later, Schalke 04's offense is back. Lin Chen chose to take the initiative to redraw. He began to receive the ball frequently at the top of the penalty area. After all, within the box, Bayer Leverkusen has too many defenders. Moreover, the retreat to the midfield can also echo Schalke 04's midfield. It didn't take long. Lin Chen's retracement showed its effect. McKennie in midfield, after receiving a pass from the defender, turned around and immediately passed the football to Lin Chen's feet. At the same time, Schalke 04's left winger Amin Ali also began to accelerate. At the speed of a 100-meter sprint, he killed towards the restricted area of Bayer Leverkusen. When Lin Chen received the football, his eyes had already seen Amin Ali in the rib position. Thereupon, instead of forcing a turn and shooting, he slammed his heel with dexterity, and the football followed the gap between two Bayer Leverkusen defenders, speeding by. Eventually, the football appeared at the feet of Amin Ali. Advanced passing. Sports Channel 5 commentator Shin Jian was also shocked after seeing Lin Chen's heel knock. Restricted area. Amin Ali was incredibly fast, and in an instant, he rushed to the Bayer Leverkusen goalkeeper. He pushed very calmly into the far corner. Goalkeeper Herdecki could not react, and could only watch the football pass by his hand in embarrassment. The score is 1-0. Amin Ali, who played at home, scored, and the player who provided him with an assist was the hero of today's game, Lin Chen. What a ball! Amin Ali shot beautifully, of course. The reason why this player was able to get a shot opportunity was completely thanks to Lin Chen's heel second pass. Worthy of being the king of the forest ball, even if it is not in the penalty area, it can create a threat to the opponent's goal. The commentator of Sports Channel 5, Shin Jian sighed. Amin Ali, who scored, also pointed to Lin Chen for the first time, and he also knew very well that he could get such a good shooting opportunity thanks to Lin Chen's pass. On the stands of the Therian Stadium, the fans shouted Lin Chen's name again. After seeing that Lin Chen was able to assist, the faces of the fans were also full of a little reluctance and helplessness. Lin Chen and Schalke 04's players are getting more and more tacit, but unfortunately, this is his last game. Hey, how great it would be if Lin Chen could play a whole season. It's worthy of Lin Chen, whether it's outside the forbidden area or within the forbidden area, his role is equally important. After the re-kickoff, Bayer Leverkusen's players also started attacking like crazy. As the third-ranked team in the Bundesliga, Bayer Leverkusen will definitely not sit still, they must fight back. The 32nd minute of the match. Bayer Leverkusen's players pressed hard. A talented midfielder for Bayer Leverkusen, Kai Havertz began his performance. At present, in the German transfer market, the value of the player Kai Havertz has been reached. 50 million euros. This speaks volumes about the horror of the 20-year-old. After receiving the football, Havertz single-handedly rushed into the front of the opponent. Undeniable. Being able to reach a value of 50 million euros at the age of 20 is enough to show the strength of Havertz. Schalke 04's defensive players also paid a lot of attention to Havertz's defense for a while. A number of Schalke 04 defenders have appeared in front of Havertz. McKennie, Bentaleb, plus centre-back Salif Sane. All three players appeared in front of Kai Havertz almost simultaneously. At this moment, Havertz also enjoyed the treatment of Lin Chen. But the only difference is, Lin Chen was often able to get rid of the bag after encountering the bag, but Havertz directly lost the ball. McKennie keenly found an opportunity and easily snatched the ball at Havertz's feet. Without a doubt, this is Schalke 04's chance to fight back. McKennie did not delay time. Suddenly a long oblique pass found Shep on the left wing. Now, Shep has begun to accelerate. At the same time, Lin Chen, who was in the penalty area, had also begun to ask for the ball. Although there are still three Bayer Leverkusen defenders around Lin Chen, there are still jamming. Shep has full trust in Lin Chen's owner. He didn't have any hesitation. Decisive 45-degree cross. The only pity. This time Shep's pass landed clearly close to the goal. And right at this moment, Lin Chen made a move that no one expected. I saw Lin Chen suddenly glared at his right foot, and then directly threw his body out. It's like the Netherlands versus Spain in the 2014 World Wave Group stage, when Van Persie jumped overhead. Tonight, Lin Chen also made the action of jumping over his head. Moreover, Lin Chen obviously took longer to vacate than Van Persie. Boom. Moment. The soccer ball fell precisely into the dead corner of the goal. Goalkeeper Hladecki did not react at all. He completely misjudged Lin Chen's attack. Because he thought that Lin Chen could not touch the football at all, so he did not make any preparations to save. Instantly, the stands of the Farian Stadium broke out into warm applause again. Many Schalke 04 fans looked at it with an incredulous expression. Lin Chen, who is celebrating. Let's be honest. For Schalke 04 fans, they couldn't believe that Lin Chen would use this technical action to score goals. The fish jumped to the top. Who dares to cross the knife immediately? Only I, General Lin. Lin Chen's arsenal is so rich, he can always score goals in different ways. The score has been rewritten to 2 o'clock, it seems that tonight is another massacre. The commentator Xin Jian was very excited. And at the moment. For Bayer Leverkusen's defenders, they stand there like chickens. Looking at the celebratory Schalke 04 players, there was nothing they could do. Dragovic threw his hands towards the goalkeeper, indicating that nothing could be done. This guy. The athletic talent was so explosive that no one could stop him at all. As a first-class central defender in the Bundesliga, Dragovic has been completely conquered by Lin Chen. It's just that for Lin Chen, this is just the beginning. The 40th minute of the game. Schalke 04, already in full swing, once again launched a fierce attack towards Bayer Leverkusen's goal. McKennie and additionally, a midfielder, Bentaleb, attempted a long-range shot at the top of the penalty area twice in a row. It's just a pity. The football was not a fly, but was successfully saved by goalkeeper Herdecki. But the third time, Lin Chen appeared at the top of the arc of the Great Forbidden Area. After receiving the cross pass from Caligiuri, he immediately staged a textbook long-range shot for McKennie and Bentaleb. I saw that after Lin Chen received the football, he first pretended to shoot with his left foot, and after successfully fooling the blocked Leverkusen back Dominic Kohl, he used his left foot again, and then, immediately after, his right foot suddenly exerted force. Suddenly, the football under Lin Chen's feet was like a cannonball from a cannon. After speeding through a number of Bayer Leverkusen's defenders in the penalty area, he went straight to the dead corner of the goal. This time, goalkeeper Hladecki did not react either. The football shot too fast. Herdecki just saw Lin Chen make a shooting action, and in the next second, the football has flown into the dead corner of the goal. This time, it was replaced by Hladecki. Stone break. A cloud-piercing arrow, thousands of troops come to meet. This is a world wave break in the standard sense. It's so strong. After both McKennie and Bentaleb failed to score from distance, Lin Chen taught himself. Thunder on the ground, Lin Chen's shot made goalkeeper Herdecki not even react. Xin Jian used his emotional voice to frantically praise this Lin Chen's world wave goal. And in the stands, Schalke 04 fans also applauded. Just completed the epic fish leap to the top and staged the super world wave goal. Lin Chen is really strong. As long as Lin Chen appears, the game doesn't want to be watched at all, it must be Schalke 04 to win. With 57 goals, it's hard to believe who will be able to break this record in the next few decades. 80% of the Bundesliga single-season record will be kept forever. Lin Chen is simply a goal machine, explosive physical fitness, coupled with super sense of grabbing points, and now he has developed a long-range shot. Strong. Messi and Ronaldo don't care about that. The number one star in football for the next decade. Lin Chen is the new king who can really compare with Pelé and Maradona. For the first time, I feel that Messi and Ronaldo's strength is average. Lin Chen once again staged a good show. Moreover, the first half is not over yet. Schalke 04 had already scored 3-0. Basically, the game is already settled. Bayer Leverkusen on the bench. Coach Bosch's face was full of helplessness. In order to prepare for this match against Schalke 04, Coach Bose was almost fully prepared. He watched all the matches after Lin Chen joined the Bundesliga, and even Bosch watched Lin Chen's matches during the Katia period. I thought that my disciples would be able to limit Lin Chen's goals. Now it seems. What a joke. When the score came to 3-0, to be honest, the suspense of tonight had completely disappeared. However, Coach Bose clearly does not want to give up the game so early. He resolutely asked Bayer Leverkusen's players to continue their attack. Even if you lose, you have to stand and lose. It can only be said that Coach Bose has the courage to speak out. However, Bayer Leverkusen's attacking players were so embarrassing that Kai Havertz, the core of the front, simply could not find a chance. Schalke 04's players gave Havertz a little more intensity, and the latter would concede the ball in the 43rd minute of the game. Havertz received the football up front. Ben wanted to show his ability to break through. It didn't happen. Just one McKennie made the steal with ease. Apparently. When young Havertz saw the same young Lin Chen have such an outstanding performance, the whole mentality has exploded. Naturally, there is no way to play at your true level. McKennie once again finished the tackle from under Kai Havertz. And then. Next second. McKennie once again passed the football to Lin Chen, who was on the line of the big penalty area. At this moment, in the stands of the entire Ferian Stadium, nearly 60,000 Schalke 04 fans began to shout Lin Chen's name at the same time. Fans are looking forward to Lin Chen being able to score again. On the pitch. When Bayer Leverkusen's defenders at the back saw Lin Chen receiving a football on the line of the penalty area, their nerves immediately became tense. Especially goalkeeper Hledecky. Tonight, Lin Chen's 2 goals made Hledecky not react in any way. The current Leverkusen defense seems to have a forest phobia, and as soon as he saw Lin Chen receiving the ball, he couldn't help but be nervous. Chapter 85. 5 Sundenko, perfect curtain call. You will always be our legend. The concerns of the Bayer Leverkusen players proved warranted. Just after Lin Chen received the football, Lin Chen, who originally had his back to the goal, suddenly forcibly turned around. He used his strong body to directly knock away the 2 central defenders of Bayer Leverkusen. Now, Dragovic and Yanada couldn't keep up with Lin Chen's progress at all. That's it. Lin Chen once again entered the restricted area of Bayer Leverkusen. Goalkeeper Hledecky reacted quite quickly this time. He didn't have any hesitation at all. Suddenly rushed out from the goal line, wanting to stop Lin Chen's advance as fast as possible. However, Lin Chen also did not give Hledecky a chance this time. Lin Chen did not choose ordinary pushes or volleys, but chose a more difficult technical pick. When goalkeeper Hledecky just appeared in front of Lin Chen gently picked it up with his right toe, and the football just passed perfectly over Hledecky's head. And then quickly fell into the opponent's goal. Goalkeeper Hledecky has no way at all at the moment, he can only look at the ball and sigh. The score is 4-0. At the same time, Lin Chen also completed a hat-trick, and at the same time had a gorgeous stat of an assist. After Lin Chen scored, the Ferian Stadium erupted again into cheers. I knew that Lin Chen would definitely be able to complete the hat-trick. 3 goals at halftime. Lin Chen's offensive talent is really terrifying. 4-0, I feel that Lin Chen hasn't exerted his full strength yet. Watching Lin Chen play, I feel that scoring goals is too easy. The fans in the stands sighed with emotion. And at the moment, on the bench of the Zhuang team, Schalke 04's head coach Tekwards was also clapping vigorously, giving Lin Chen a round of applause. Well done, Lin Chen. It's really worth it to coach a player like this. There is no doubt that for Tekwards, he naturally appreciates Lin Chen, and in T-Code's mind, Lin Chen is currently the #1 center in football. Also excited was the commentator Xin Jian. Sports 5 Studios. The commentator Xin Jian deliberately raised the volume and shouted deafeningly, the 3rd ball. Pick and shoot. Facing the attacking goalkeeper Hledecky, Lin Chen was quite calm at this moment, and successfully broke through the opponent's goal with a light pick. Lin Chen, as a center striker, can have such excellent footwork, which is a rare player in the whole world football. Tonight's protagonist is destined to belong to Lin Chen. Before the first half was over, Lin Chen had already scored a hat-trick plus an assist. 950 single-handedly burst the entire Leverkusen defenses. Lin Chen's single-season goal record has reached 58 goals, and I personally estimate that this record should not be broken by any player. In this match, Bayer Leverkusen's players kicked off in the center circle for the 4th time. Through the TV broadcast footage, it can be clearly seen that the face of the striker Arario has become solemn. When Bayer Leverkusen kicked off, it wasn't long before the referee blew the whistle for the end of the first half. Schalke 04, playing at home, relied on Lin Chen's hat-trick and assist, temporarily leading third-placed Bayer Leverkusen in the Bundesliga 4-0. Although it was only the end of the first half, for Bayer Leverkusen fans, there was no more suspense in the game. It's clear. Look at the first half of the game. Bayer Leverkusen's team is simply no match for Schalke 04. Especially on the defensive end. After being scored 4 goals by Lin Chen, now Bayer Leverkusen's backline players have collectively suffered from forest phobia. The defensive mentality of the whole team is like an explosion. During intermission. The largest football website in China, Understanding the Net, also published a halftime report. Lin Chen Schalke curtain call, first half hat-trick. In an instant, a large number of Lin Chen's fans poured in to like and comment. The first half of the game was completely Lin Chen's personal offensive show. Bayer Leverkusen is almost powerless to fight back. Lin Chen can not only score goals but also assist, a proper world number 1 center. Now Schalke 04's attack is too dependent on Lin Chen, and I don't know what to do after Schalke 04 leaves Lin Chen in the second half of the Bundesliga. Yes, after Lin Chen leaves Madrid, Schalke 04's offensive efficiency will definitely be greatly reduced. Lin Chen is now like a nuclear weapon, and once Schalke leaves Lin Chen, it is almost impossible to win the championship. After Lin Chen joins Real Madrid, his influence will definitely be even greater. I hope Lin Chen can help Real Madrid win the Champions League next season. Now Real Madrid's situation can only rely on Lin Chen. With Lin Chen's current hot state, he will definitely be able to become a starter after joining the Dry Horse. Since tonight's match will be Lin Chen's last game at Schalke 04, naturally, Coach Tekord still gives Lin Chen enough playing time. After the start of the second half of the game, Lin Chen appeared on the court again. This is naturally exciting for Schalke 04 fans in the homestands. Hysterically shouted Lin Chen's name again. Game. Once again, Schalke 04's players controlled the pace of the game. Bayer Leverkusen's players began to learn to be smart, they began to attack without initiative, and manager Bosch changed tactics and he began to ask Bayer Leverkusen's players to defend with all their strength. Bosch understands that today's completion of Lin Chen will certainly not be limited to scoring 3 goals, and Lin Chen will definitely continue to show his attacking talent in the 45 minutes of the second half. In order not to let Bayer Leverkusen suffer a big defeat this evening, Bosch decided to defend well. So, from the first minute of the second half, Bayer Leverkusen's players took the initiative to pull back and began to set up a barrel formation. Of course, Bayer Leverkusen is not a defensive one. If there is a chance to fight back, Bayer Leverkusen's attacking players will definitely threaten the opponent's goal at the first moment. The 55th minute of the game. Schalke 04 players also began to press frequently in order to break the iron barrel formation, and this gave Bayer Leverkusen the opportunity to counterattack. Midfielder McKennie had just arrived in front with the ball when suddenly, at least 3 Bayer Leverkusen players appeared in front of McKennie. It began to form a trap towards him. Havertz plus Bellarabi and Alario. All 3 were speed-type players who made tackles from McKennie's feet in an instant. Havertz shrewdly handed the football to Bellarabi. The Bayer Leverkusen winger immediately forced acceleration towards the right wing. Less than 3 seconds. Bellarabi successfully brought the ball to the back of Schalke 04. Due to the heavy pressure of Schalke 04's defenders, only 2 central defenders, Salif Sane and Nastaxic, remain in the entire Schalke 04 backline. No doubt. It was a good opportunity for Bayer Leverkusen to score a goal. On the wing, Bellarabi is like stepping on a hot wheel. In the blink of an eye, he began to kill from the ribs towards the restricted area of Schalke 04, in desperation. Schalke 04's defensive player Nastasic can only actively assist the defense. But right now, Bellarabi immediately sent another inverted triangle pass. Havertz on the line of the penalty area after receiving the football. First he made a shooting motion, then he suddenly stopped, taking advantage of the change of rhythm to deceive defender Salif Sane's center of gravity. Immediately followed. Havertz raised his foot and shot angrily. This time, Kai Havertz finally showed his goal-scoring prowess. Football is precisely hung in the dead end. Goalkeeper Feuermann couldn't do anything. The score was rewritten. It's 4-1. As the current third-placed Bundesliga powerhouse, Bayer Leverkusen's counterattack speed is still quite fast for Bayer Leverkusen. After falling behind 4-0, It was finally a goal that undoubtedly increased the confidence of Bayer Leverkusen's players. In the following time, Bayer Leverkusen's players also began to threaten the Leschok 0-4 goal. Just when all Bayer Leverkusen saw a glimmer of victory. Soon, Lin Chen extinguished this tiny light. Less than 10 minutes. Lin Chen scored his fourth goal of the game. It was a set-piece attack. Midfielder Bentaleb sent in a crucial pass from the right side of the arc in the penalty area. This time, Bentaleb did not shoot directly with his feet, but chose to pass the ball suddenly. The football landed near the penalty spot. After Lin Chen took off into the air, he successfully predicted the landing point. Immediately after, Lin Chen looked back at the moon with a slap and shook his head to attack the door. Although Dragovic and Yanada, the two-player center defenders, were already dead on Lin Chen's left and right sides, trying to stop Lin Chen's jump, but Bayer Leverkusen's defensive players still failed. Lin Chen's physical fitness was too explosive, plus Lin Chen bounced amazingly and easily grabbed the first point. Boom! The ball quickly flew towards the goal guarded by Hladetsky. This time, Bayer Leverkusen's goalkeeper finally made a save. It's just that Lin Chen's header is too fast. Hradecki still did not save football. That's it. Once again, the score was rewritten. 5-1. Hello, senior. Less than 10 minutes after the Bayer Leverkusen player scored, Schalke 04's top scorer, Lin Chen immediately returned the color. This time the head is shaken, the strength and angle are almost incomprehensible. Despite the goalkeeper's save, there is still no way to stop the ball from flying into the goal. The number of goals scored in a single season has reached 59, let's wait and see if we can reach 60 tonight. On the stands of the Ferian Stadium. Once again, a large number of Schalke 04 fans cheered. At the critical moment, it still depends on Lin Chen. Bayer Kusen dares to fight back, this is simply looking for death. Lin Chen is really strong, completely ignoring Bayer Leverkusen's defensive players. Hey, it's uncomfortable to think that this is Lin Chen's last game. Bayer Leverkusen's players re-kicked off. And did not hesitate. The first attack was launched towards Schalke 04's goal. The score of 5-1 has made Bayer Leverkusen's players lose their rationality, and now, Bayer Leverkusen's players have only one purpose, to score. It is better to be jade broken, not to be complete. Coach Bose didn't want to defend anymore and he began to realize that if all Bayer Leverkusen's players retreated to the halftime defense, it would be undoubtedly death. Case. Might as well give it a go. But how easy is it to break Schalke 04's goal? The morale of the current Schalke 04's players has been boosted. In the game, you also dare to do the action. Don't give the Bayer Leverkusen striker any chance at all. Of course, Leverkusen didn't give up either. Various long passes, 45-degree crosses, frantically bombarding Schalke 04's defense. The effort pays off. Finally, in the 80th minute of the game, the tireless Bayer Leverkusen player got his chance. Kai Havertz began to break through with the ball on the wing. After forcing the bottom line, he decisively made a long pass. Arario, who followed up in front of goal, successfully snatched the goal. Goalkeeper Fairman was unresponsive. The score has been rewritten again. 5-2. Another goal battle. In the stands, the fans were also addicted to watching. Schalke 04 fans also began to shout in unison for the goal. 10 minutes later. The last minute of the game. Lin Chen did not live up to the support of Schalke 04 fans. Towards the end of the game, achieved his fifth goal of the game. On the great exclusion zone line, Lin Chen turned sideways to face the pass of Kalihuri. When the football fell in front of Lin Chen, the two wronged heads, Dragovic and Yanada, appeared in front of Lin Chen again. Then, be prepared to make a foot extension interference. But I didn't think that this Schalke 04 super striker, but with a kick, he directly kicked the football into the goal. In this goal, Lin Chen also thoroughly displayed his unparalleled physical fitness and shooting skills. Ordinary players, when they find that they are far away from the passing point, are unlikely to choose to shoot in this way, but Lin Chen is quite confident in his physical fitness. He believes he can score football. It turns out, Lin Chen was right. 6-2. Goko Denko. Lin Chen scored with a surprising kick near the end of the game, and in this game, Lin Chen scored a total of 5 goals. Oh my god, at this moment, Lin Chen is like a god, no player can interfere in front of Lin Chen. It's really shocking. Lin Chen used 5 Suns Denko to successfully end his half-season in Schalke 04 with a record of 60 goals in a single season. Lin Chen let every Schalke 04 fan understand Huagua, and also proved that Huagua players can also become world-class forwards. Next, after the short but beautiful journey of Schalke 04, Lin Chen will go directly to the Iberian Peninsula, will go to the city of Madrid, and at the Bernabeu, Lin Chen will write his new legend. Sports Channel 5 commentator, Xin Jian sighed with emotion. After Lin Chen scored, Schalke 04's teammates also gathered in front of Lin Chen for the first time, and almost every Schalke 04 player did not have a smile on their faces, but with a trace of sadness. They understand. After this match, perhaps, it may be impossible to see Lin Chen again. Therefore, every Schalke 04 player regarded this hug as his last when hugging Lin Chen. On the stands of the Ferian Stadium, Schalke 04 fans were equally excited. They are also well aware. This goal will be Lin Chen's last performance at Schalke 04. Schalke 04 is about to send away the world's #1 striker. Some emotional fans also burst into tears. Even some Schalke 04 female fans wept bitterly. The fans also spontaneously raised the banner. The meaning of each separation is for a better reunion next time. Thank you, Lin Chen, for allowing us to witness the birth of the world's #1 striker. Schalke 04 is the eternal savior in the minds of fans. May you be on top of Europe at Real Madrid. Lin Chen, you have become a Schalke legend. Chapter 86. Official announcement. The new king has come to the Bernabeu. The game is not over yet. Bayer Leverkusen's players are back on the ball, and for Bayer Leverkusen there is no way back and there is not much time left for them. There are only 3 minutes of stoppage time in total. If you want to score 4 goals in these 3 minutes, even if you can score 1, it is impossible to do it. That's it. In the last 3 minutes, neither side achieved anything. Ultimately, after the referee's whistle, the game was over and the score was frozen at 6-2. At home, Schalke won the game profit. However, after the referee blew the end of the game, the Schalke 04 fans in the stands of the Ferian Stadium did not cheer and excited, but carried a sense of loss and sadness. This is Lin Chen's last game in Schalke 04, and for Schalke 04 fans, naturally they don't want Lin Chen to leave. On the pitch, every Schalke 04 player also walked in front of Lin Chen one by one, and then sent hugs and blessings to Lin Chen. At the same time, the players from the coaching staff also came to Lin Chen and patted Lin Chen's shoulder very solemnly. At last, Lin Chen slowly walked around the field alone, and Lin Chen applauded the Schalke 04 fans in the stands as he walked. Although Lin Chen has only played for Schalke 04 for half a season, it is undeniable that Lin Chen has become the greatest star in the history of the current Schalke 04 team, and at the same time the king in the hearts of every Schalke 04 fan. When the king left, Schalke 04 fans naturally cried bitterly. Lin Chen! Lin Chen! Lin Chen! The fans of Schalke 04 at the scene began to spontaneously shout Lin Chen's name, which will be the last time Schalke 04 fans shout Lin Chen's name. Therefore, every Schalke 04 fan was hysterically shouting Lin Chen after seeing this scene, and naturally the corners of his eyes were also crowded with tears. By chance, Lin Chen saw a small fan in the stands holding his poster, and his mouth was milkily shouting to see his name. So, Lin Chen personally walked in front of this little fan, took off his robe and handed it to this little fan. After receiving Lin Chen's falling version of the jersey, the little fans burst into tears with excitement. Perhaps at this moment, Lin Chen's act of sending a jersey can completely change the life of this little fan. After a circle around the field, Lin Chen only had shorts left. Sneakers, pants have been given to the fans. Sports 5 stations. After the end of the game, Sports 5 often broadcasts advertisements, but at the end of today's game, Sports 5 did not cut the advertisement, but chose to continue the live broadcast. Commentator Xin Jian said with great emotion, "The fans of Schalke 04 are too enthusiastic, but this is competitive football." Lin Chen has already helped Schalke 04 win the Bundesliga halftime title, and next, Lin Chen needs to challenge himself to a higher platform. Here, I also hope that Schalke 04 can play well in the second half of the Bundesliga, and for the current Schalke 04, the priority is to introduce a striker who can replace Lin Chen after the winter window begins. In the comment area, many fans in China also expressed their envy. Wow! I was able to get Lin Chen's falling jersey. This little fan is really lucky. That said, Lin Chen's body muscle lines can be described as distinct. Hey, as a Schalke 04 fan, it's really sad to see this scene. Lin Chen completely conquered Schalke 04 fans in only half a season, and after the game, there were nearly 60,000 fans left on the field. This card is really strong. Schalke is doomed to sleepless tonight. On the pitch. After Lin Chen circled the field, he stood on the court again. His eyes were watching the fans in the stands of the Ferian Stadium. Lin Chen hopes to take a second look at the stadium and the fans who support him. Because Lin Chen understands that it is very likely that he will never see this group of fans who are shouting for themselves again. Although Lin Chen didn't know their names. But Lin Chen understood. They are their greatest supporters. And it is precisely because of the support of these fans that Lin Chen can kill all sides in the Bundesliga and break the record held by Gerd Müller. About 10 minutes later, Lin Chen slowly beckoned to the fans in the stands, and he was leaving. On the stands of the Ferian Stadium, Schalke 04 fans are even more crying. They cried for Lin Chen not to leave Schalke, but alas, it was too late. Lin Chen has his mission. And Real Madrid is his best home. When Lin Chen slowly walked into the player tunnel, Schalke 04 fans almost cried red eyes. Even some strong men began to cry. Men don't flick tears, but they haven't reached the sad place. In the player tunnel, there were also a large number of reporters, and it was obvious that these reporters had only one purpose, that is, to get Lin Chen's interview. There's nothing to say. I love the city, I love Schalke 04, I love the fans, but I have to leave, even though I used to have good memories here. Let's hope Schalke 04 can do well this season. After Lin Chen said a few words, he returned to the dressing room. After the game, major media have also reported that Lin Chen is about to leave Schalke 04. The local German kicker said, Bundesliga top scorer Wang goes to Madrid. Bundesliga suspense again. Rheinische Zeitung. Is a release article, Lin Chen leaves the Bundesliga, whether Schalke 04 can keep the top spot has become a question. Whether Bayern can fight back strongly, please look forward to the second half of the Bundesliga. France's team newspaper said Lin Chen's goal record is 60 goals, and the super goalscorer Wang joins Real Madrid on the same day. Sports Weekly, Schalke 04's greatest goalscorer leaves, fans cry non-stop. For fans of other Bundesliga teams, Lin Chen's departure from the Bundesliga is definitely a good thing, so that this season's Bundesliga will once again have suspense. Schalke 04 is basically the mid-table level of the Bundesliga after the lack of Lin Chen. So, for fans of teams such as Bayern, Borussia Dortmund and Bayer Leverkusen, it was natural to applaud. Lin Chen was scheduled to fly to Madrid after Christmas. Lin Chen was able to stay in Schalke for a few days. During this time, Lin Chen spent most of his time packing his luggage, and then took time to eat with his teammates and the staff of the club. In fact, in the end, Lin Chen is reluctant to leave Schalke 04, after all, after half a season of familiarity, Lin Chen has completely adapted to life in Schalke 04. But that's competitive sports, that's football. He had to make the decision to leave. If I have to say the person who is most reluctant for Lin Chen to leave Schalke 04, it must be head coach Teckwards. When Lin Chen leaves Schalke 04, the pressure on Turcodes will definitely be quite great. After all, Schalke 04 with Lin Chen and Schalke 04 without Lin Chen are completely two teams. In the second half of the Bundesliga, it is almost impossible for Schalke 04 to maintain its current position as the leader of the Bundesliga. However, for Teckwards, he is also very much looking forward to Lin Chen going to Real Madrid to compete at a higher level. As Lin Chen's head coach, Teckwards is still familiar with Lin Chen's technical style. In his opinion, if Lin Chen can develop normally in the future, he will definitely be able to become a new ball king. Since Christmas is coming. Considering that Lin Chen definitely had nowhere to go, Teckwards personally called Lin Chen and invited Lin Chen to come to his home. Westerners' emphasis on Christmas is equivalent to the importance that China attaches to the Spring Festival. Lin Chen did not refuse Teckwards' kindness. After Christmas, Lin Chen packed his luggage and also embarked on a dirty job to Madrid. At the airport gate, the fans of Schalke 04, who received the news in advance, also came to bid farewell to Lin Chen, and Lin Chen was also excited again after seeing this scene. If it weren't for the hurry, Lin Chen would definitely stay and take a group photo for this group of fans to sign autographs. Afternoon. Lin Chen returned to Madrid. At Madrid's airport, Raúl also came to pick up the airport in person. As soon as the two met, they were the first to give a deep hug. For Lin Chen, as a child of Real Madrid, he was finally able to go home. Lin Chen, look forward to the stars and the moon, but finally I hope for you. As you can see, Raúl is very excited. In the last week, Raúl had arranged everything Lin Chen needed to come back, including accommodation, in order to be able to let Lin Chen play the game with peace of mind. Raúl also paid for it out of his own pocket and found Lin Chen a nanny who could cook Chinese food, as well as 2 security guards and drivers. It can be seen that Raúl has great hopes for Lin Chen. Of course, not only Raúl, but the entire Real Madrid club regards Lin Chen as a savior. The first day after the arrival of January, Real Madrid immediately announced the news of Lin Chen's joining the team on its official website. Heavy. Lin Chen returns to the team. Real Madrid's children, go home. At 12 noon, Real Madrid club also held a special press conference. Galeries Lafayette was on site. At the press conference, Galeries Lafayette Florentino also personally handed the number 7 shirt to Lin Chen, and then, Florentino said very excitedly to the reporters in the audience, Real Madrid's children are home. I believe Lin Chen will lead Real Madrid to the Champions League, La Liga and Copa del Rey this season. He broke the German record in only half a season in the Bundesliga. Lin Chen can break records in the Bundesliga, and he can also break records in La Liga. I can't wait to watch Lin Chen wearing the Real Madrid shirt. As the president of Real Madrid, in fact, Florentino is also quite under pressure. This season Real Madrid star Cristiano Ronaldo left the Apennines, which caused Real Madrid to suffer setbacks in both La Liga and Champions League matches. Real Madrid need a superstar to replace Cristiano Ronaldo. At present, the most suitable candidate is Lin Chen. Florentino is a marketing whiz, not only holding a press conference, but also arranging a meeting between Lin Chen and the fans at the Bernabeu. It can be said that when Ronaldo joined Real Madrid from Manchester United, Lin Chen also had all of them, and the stars of Real Madrid also posted tweets welcoming Lin Chen on Instagram. Modric, welcome Lin Chen home. I can't wait to give you an assist. Benzema, it's a privilege to play alongside the greatest stars of the Bundesliga. Ramos, Lin Chen, Real Madrid welcomes you. I am sure that you will be respected at the Bernabeu. Bell, we're going to do miracles. Lin Chen, I have already begun to look forward to cooperating with you. 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Real Madrid fans also arrived at the Bernabeu early. For Real Madrid fans, they, like Florentino, are looking forward to Lin Chen's arrival. Wow! Finally waiting for this day, Lin Chen finally returned to Real Madrid. I hope Lin Chen can play in the next game. To be honest, Benzema really can't score. Lin Chen, welcome home, you must lead the dry horse to victory. Lin Chen, come on. I believe you can do miracles. New number 7. Lin Chen will definitely be able to achieve better results than Ronaldo. Real Madrid is about to get back to life. If Lin Chen does not return to Real Madrid, these fans will soon become Schalke 04 fans. Under the roar of a tsunami of Real Madrid fans, Lin Chen wore the number 7 shirt and finally appeared in the Bernabeu Stadium. Lin Chen began to perform a ball performance. As a high school forward, Lin Chen's technique is still relatively delicate. All kinds of fancy moves can be handy. It also won applause from the fans. After the end of the bump, the host on the scene also handed the microphone to Lin Chen. This was Lin Chen's first visit to the Bernabeu Stadium, and he was thrilled when he saw the crowd of Real Madrid fans shouting his name at the same time. After he took the microphone, very solemnly said, Real Madrid is my home, it is really good to be able to go home. I know that Real Madrid's record is not ideal at the moment, but I believe that I will help Real Madrid. We will win the Champions League, we will win La Liga, we will beat Barcelona in the league. Lin Chen's words also directly made the fans at the scene reach their peak. No doubt. Lin Chen's words are what every Real Madrid fan wants to hear. After the meeting, Lin Chen also participated in Real Madrid's training in the afternoon. For Lin Chen, he can't wait to train. On the training ground, Lin Chen also met the stars of Real Madrid's first team. As the captain, Ramos also greeted Lin Chen cordially. Subsequently, other big-name stars also came to Lin Chen and communicated with each other, especially players like Modric in midfield. The entire Real Madrid players were very excited because of Lin Chen's arrival. Obviously, not only Real Madrid fans regard Lin Chen as the savior of the team, but even Real Madrid players regard Lin Chen as a ray of hope. Currently, Real Madrid's head coach is Solari. Solari is Julen Lopetegui's firefighting coach, but Solari's coaching record is also quite average. Although Lin Chen has just joined Real Madrid and only trained for half a day, Solari directly included Lin Chen in the squad for the next game against Villarreal. However, considering that Lin Chen has not played for a week, Solari does not dare to let Lin Chen start directly, but Lin Chen entered the substitute list. If Real Madrid are slow to open the game, it cannot be ruled out that Solari will send Lin Chen to the field. No doubt. This is the result that Real Madrid fans want to see. They have already begun to look forward to Lin Chen, the scene where Real Madrid scored. Chapter 87. Real Madrid's first team debut. Chinese flying on the ceramic court. January 3, Spanish time. The 17th round of La Liga officially began. Villarreal host in inform Real Madrid. Villarreal is also known as the Yellow Submarine. The team is located in the city of Villarreal, in the province of Castellón, Valencian community. The total population is only 50,000. But it is this small city that has such a La Liga team as Villarreal, and now Villarreal has become a La Liga powerhouse. Whether it's against Real Madrid or against Barcelona, Villarreal have the potential to score points against rival teams. The main reason why Villarreal can stand in La Liga all year round is because the club has a perfect youth training system, being able to inject fresh blood into the first team continuously. Coupled with the love of football among the locals, they are willing to send their children to the youth academy in Villarreal for training. In terms of football atmosphere alone, it is comparable to Barcelona and Madrid. If Villarreal can have a population base as large as China, perhaps it will not be difficult for this team to win the Champions League. In a word, Real Madrid's beating Villarreal away from home will not be easy. In addition, the current Huang potential La Liga has achieved 5 consecutive wins and is in quite hot form. 7:30 p.m. local time. The war is about to break out. At this moment, in the distant country of China, there are also a large number of fans waiting in front of the TV, waiting to enjoy Lin Chen's debut at Real Madrid. Sports 5 stations. Commentator Xin Jian also began to announce the starting lists of the two teams. On the Villarreal side playing at home, head coach Luis Garcia sent a 4,132 formation. In the goalkeeper position, Asenjo, the 4 defenders are Rayan, Alvaro Gonzalez, Victor Ruiz, and Captain Haumkost. Single back is Fuego. The 3 forwards are Santiago Carices, Fornals, and former Arsenal midfield core player Cazorla. Up front, it's a striker partnership of Chiquez and Gerard Moreno. Duan Xian continued, in the current Villarreal squad, the absolute core is naturally Cazorla in midfield, a player who impressed us during his time at Arsenal, and despite his short stature, he is excellent in breakthroughs and shots and tandems up front. On the Real Madrid side, coach Solari did not let Lin Chen, who had just joined the team, but put the super goalscorer on the bench. This may also be considering that the current training time between Lin Chen and the team is too short. In short, Solari did not risk letting Lin Chen start. The specific starters are as follows. The goalkeeper is still Courtois. 4 defenders, from left to right, Marcelo, Ramos plus Varane and Carvajal. The 3 midfielders are made up of Modric, Casemiro, and Tonico Ross. The 3 attacking players are Bale, Benzema, and Vasquez. When Xin Jian announced the starting lists of the two teams, many Chinese fans were also disappointed and left messages in the comment area. I didn't let Lin Chen appear. Did this coach of Real Madrid make a mistake? I stayed up late specifically to see Lin Chen. Lin Chen must appear in the second half. According to Real Madrid state, Lin Chen will definitely have a chance to appear in the second half. Come on, Lin Chen, I hope to score in the first game. Although it's already past 4 o'clock in the morning, I can see Lin Chen appear, and it's worth staying up late this time. Hurry up and get started. Watching Real Madrid for the first time, I was so excited. Inside the ceramic court, Villarreal fans in the stands are also eagerly waiting for the start of this big fight. 2 minutes later, the referee blew the whistle for the start of the game. Villarreal, playing at home, played quite actively. They did not choose to shrink to defend, but took the initiative to attack. Apparently, for Villarreal's players, it seems that they are more than capable of beating Real Madrid at home. It was with this strong conviction that Villarreal scored. The opening is only 5 minutes away. Villarreal's midfielder, Cazorla, has shown his great attacking talent. The second attack was launched by Victorious in the back. The Villarreal centre-back kicked a big foot and drove the football straight up front. On the great exclusion zone line, Villarreal's centre-forward Chiquedes jumped high, successfully snatched the first point ahead of central defender Varane. However, Real Madrid captain Ramos has also begun to move towards Chiquedes, so the player did not choose to turn and shoot. Instead, he made the football club to Cazorla, who kept up. This yellow dive Korjang bow and arrow, directly on the line of the big penalty area, made a long-range shot. World boom! In a flash, football flew quickly over the heads of Real Madrid's defenders, hang straight to the dead corner of the goal. Real Madrid goalkeeper Courtois can only look at the ball and sigh at the moment. There is simply no way to make any saves. The opening is less than 5 minutes. Villarreal, playing at home, managed to score. The player who opened the way for the team is Cazorla. A world wave successfully broke through Courtois' 10-finger barrier. The former Arsenal veteran has now burst into a second spring after returning to La Liga. This is the 8th goal of the season. The state is hot. In the stands, Villarreal fans were excited, hysterically shouting Cazorla's name. But Villarreal fans didn't rejoice for long. It was only 3 minutes later. Real Madrid managed to equalize. Benzema took the form of Benzema and his header from inside the box broke through Asenjo's goal. And the player who passed the ball to Benzema was the young Vázquez. Real Madrid's players, especially those on the front line, still have a certain sense of crisis after Lin Chen joined the team. They understand that once Lin Chen adapts to the rhythm of La Liga, he will definitely be able to become a striker for Real Madrid, so whether it is Benzema, Vázquez or Bale, they hope to perform well in the last few games to keep their starting position. After Benzema scored, he didn't celebrate much, but rushed into the goal and quickly picked up the football. Benzema is well aware that Real Madrid's goal for this game is 3 points. This is not the time to celebrate. After the re-kickoff, the players of Villarreal at home began to actively recycle the defense, and apparently, through Benzema's goal just now, Villarreal gradually realized the horror of dry horses. The most urgent thing for the Yellow Submarine is to stabilize the mentality. In the time after that, all 11 of Villarreal's players have retreated to their own half, while Real Madrid have begun to press hard. It's just a pity. Because Real Madrid have always lacked bridgehead-type players in the box, Real Madrid players simply cannot find any opportunities when facing heavy defense. In desperation, it can only be an attempt to shoot from a distance. But whether it was Modric or Toni Kroos, their shots were ruthlessly defused by the goalkeeper. The scene gradually becomes dull when positional battles cannot break the opponent's goal. Real Madrid can only pin their hopes on corners or set pieces. In the 19th minute of the game, Bale received an oblique long pass from Toni Kroos and forced a breakthrough on the wing. Although it failed, Bale managed to help Real Madrid get a corner kick. At this time, 2 central defenders, Ramos and Varane, also came to the opponent's penalty area and competed for headers. Corner flag area on the left. Kroos did it all at once. The football successfully fell behind the post. At this moment, Varane, who was ambushed at the back point, jumped. Successfully proceeded yellow dive captain Home Costa and completed the header goal. Because Kroos passed the ball too fast this time, Varane did not have any power at all, just touched a slight header, and the football quickly turned into Villarreal's goal. Goalkeeper Asenjo couldn't react. It can only be a sigh of hope. In the 20th minute of the first half, Real Madrid, who played away from home, successfully completed the comeback. After Real Madrid's goal this time, all the soldiers also gathered around to celebrate. On the bench, Lin Chen also gave applause to his teammates. In the time that followed, neither Real Madrid nor Huang Qian achieved success. The first half is over. Real Madrid, playing away from home, temporarily lead this Villarreal 2-1. Be able to see it. After Lin Chen joined the Real Madrid team, he was still able to bring great confidence to the Real Madrid players, and in the previous matches, basically once Real Madrid were behind, it was almost difficult to equalize. But tonight, the Real Madrid players on the pitch not only equalized the score, but even successfully completed the comeback. During the intermission, Real Madrid manager Solari was satisfied with the performance of the players on the field, so he did not make substitutions. 15 minutes later. In the second half, it was easy to fight again. As soon as the game began, Villarreal, who played at home, showed an aggressive scramble, and it seemed that Villarreal's players wanted to catch Real Madrid by surprise, as they did at the beginning of the first half. It's just a pity. Real Madrid are an experienced team after all and did not give Huang a chance. But Real Madrid also faced new problems. Then there is no way to continue to extend the score. To be honest, a 2-1 score is not safe. If Real Madrid want to win, they have to score another goal. But the Real Madrid players are afraid that if they press hard, they will be counterattacked by their opponents. So at this stage, the mentality of Real Madrid players is a bit embarrassing. They want to score goals and are afraid to concede. There was no way for the whole team to think in unison. Villarreal's goal, on the other hand, is to score. 15 minutes later. Bale broke through on the wing and met the double pocket of back Fuego and captain Costa, after which Bale lost possession. After Fuego snatched the football, he immediately handed it to midfielder Fornals. At this time, most of the Real Madrid players were in the front court and did not rush back. Without a doubt, this is definitely the perfect opportunity for the yellow diving court to fight back. After receiving the football, Fornals in the midfielder opened up his firepower and rushed to the half of Real Madrid at a speed of 100 meters. At this moment, the entire Real Madrid defense began to tense. Casemiro and Captain Ramos both appeared in front of Fornals, but at this moment, Fornals showed his super sense of the big picture. He did not choose to force a breakthrough, but saw Cazorla unguarded in front of him. Next second, the football appeared in front of Cazorla. The latter drove straight in, instantly entering the opponent's restricted area. At this time, although Carvajal on the right side had also appeared in front of Cazorla. But Cazorla, who was not yet old, did not hesitate at all, and with a fake movement, he easily passed Carvajal. After that, facing the attacking goalkeeper Courtois, Cazorla also directly pushed into the far corner and scored easily. 2-2. Huang Qian, who played at home, managed to equalize the score. Once again, Real Madrid's players dropped the chain at a crucial moment. At this moment, the fan atmosphere in the stands of the Ceramic Stadium has also reached its peak, and nearly 30,000 fans shouted the name of Cazorla at the same time. While Cazorla was celebrating with his teammates, the broadcaster's camera was focused on Lin Chen sitting on the bench. The lens language is already very obvious. Lin Chen came to Real Madrid with the aura of the Bundesliga goalscorer king. Today, Real Madrid's attacking players are not in good shape, and the defense has conceded goals again, as if the dry horse needs to make some changes. After Real Madrid reopened the ball, it did not put pressure on Villarreal's defense, but was once again played by the yellow dive players to quickly counterattack. Fortunately, goalkeeper Courtois reacted quickly this time. The save was successfully completed. After seeing this scene, the manager who was standing on the sidelines, Solari, frowned. After thinking about it for about a minute, Solari asked Lin Chen to warm up. Solari did not directly let Lin Chen play, he still chose to believe in the Real Madrid players on the field. The broadcaster also decisively cut the camera to Lin Chen, who was warming up. After the fans in China saw that Lin Chen had begun to warm up, they also began to get excited. Finally debuting. I can't wait. Solari, hurry up and let Lin Chen appear. If Lin Chen doesn't appear again, I'm going to fall asleep. Lin Chen, come on. Real Madrid's hopes of victory are all yours. Just as Lin Chen was warming up, the Villarreal players playing at home once again changed the scoreline. After receiving a pass from his teammate in midfield, Solari made a succession of internal feints, and finally finished shooting for the third time. A stone-breaking long-range shot successfully tore through Real Madrid's defense. The score came to 3-2. Solari was completely dumbfounded. He quickly stopped Lin Chen, who was warming up. Quickly replaced the average bell with Lin Chen. Lin Chen is here. In the 75th minute of the game, Lin Chen replaced Bale, which is a historic moment for Chinese players, who played for the Real Madrid first team. Sports Channel 5 commentator Shin Jian shouted excitedly. After Lin Chen came on the field, he naturally came to the position of center forward, while Benzema, who was previously in the center position, came to the left wing. 2 minutes later, Benzema, who had just returned to the left wing, received a pass from Modric. At this time, Lin Chen was already ready in the restricted area. He raised his right hand towards Benzema, signaling for Benzema to cross. The next second, Benzema did not hesitate. He obeyed Lin Chen's instructions and drove the football directly into the penalty area. I saw that Lin Chen, who was in the restricted area, suddenly ran and then jumped. This time, Lin Chen almost tried his best to jump. When Lin Chen jumped up, he was a head taller than Huang Qian's defenders. It was as if at this moment, Lin Chen flew up directly. There is no suspense. Lin Chen successfully grabbed the first point. Then, head the hammer directly. The ball went in. 3-3. Chapter 88. 15-minute hat-trick. The gold content of the Bundesliga goalscorer king. Lin Chen scored a goal. This is Lin Chen's first goal for Real Madrid. The score is 3-3. Worthy of being the Bundesliga goalscorer king, Lin Chen has just appeared less than 5 minutes ago, and he successfully broke through the goal guarded by Villarreal. Or score this way. It's really incredible. At this moment, Lin Chen seemed to be flying. Flying Chinese people. Sports 5, commentator Shin Jian has long been very excited. Although Shin Jian already had a hunch that Lin Chen would score, he never expected that Lin Chen would successfully break through the opponent's goal after only 5 minutes of appearance. Equally excited are the Real Madrid fans. In the away fan area of the Ceramic Stadium, thousands of Real Madrid fans could hardly believe their eyes. Apparently, Real Madrid fans were completely shocked by Lin Chen's goal. It's so strong. Lin Chen's bouncing power is also too terrifying. I feel that Lin Chen's physical fitness is stronger than Ronaldo. 5 minutes to score. Lin Chen was really too fierce. Originally, I thought that Lin Chen needed to adapt, but now I don't need it. Real Madrid's hope for a revival. Lin Chen, come on, strive to score another goal. At this moment, Real Madrid fans seem to see the dawn of victory in Lin Chen. Meanwhile, and in China, after fans saw Lin Chen score goals on the field, they also began to leave messages in the comment area to praise. Lin Chen's first goal at Real Madrid was too easy. Neither the Bundesliga nor La Liga can stop Lin Chen's goal. Hey, if Solari let Lin Chen appear in today's game, maybe the game would have lost its suspense by now. Lin Chen is really strong, and he doesn't give Villarreal's defensive players a chance at all. Lin Chen, the pride of Huagua. Did Lin Chen fly just now? Is this really a move that Asian players can do? At the moment in Germany, there are also many Schalke 04 fans waiting in front of the TV. When they saw 28 Lin Chen helping Real Madrid score, they were also very uncomfortable. Hey, Lin Chen's goal efficiency is still ridiculously high. I scored in 5 minutes of appearance, and sure enough, Lin Chen is still Lin Chen. That's all about La Liga's defense. It is also impossible to limit Lin Chen's goals. Hey, I hope Lin Chen can achieve glory in Real Madrid. Bless you, our former king. Court sidelines. Real Madrid coach Solari also gradually softened his face. He frantically applauded Lin Chen. For Solari, although he was in charge of Real Madrid as a firefighting coach, Real Madrid's record in recent times has been quite poor. As head coach, Solari is naturally to blame. According to rumors, if Solari is not able to change the status quo at Real Madrid soon, it is likely that Solari will also be fired. So, today's game, Solari is still under a lot of pressure. But when Lin Chen helped Real Madrid equalize, Solari seemed to see hope in staying with Real Madrid. Lin Chen, this kid's strength is indeed strong, he is worthy of being a player who can break Gerd Muller's record. Solari praised inwardly. After Lin Chen scored, the big stars in the Real Madrid lineup, such as Modric, Ramos and others, also ran to Lin Chen for the first time, and then hugged Lin Chen to celebrate. for Real Madrid. Getting a point is not acceptable. After a re-kickoff, Real Madrid's players also immediately implemented the tactic of pressing high. Apparently, Real Madrid are eager to score another goal. At this moment, the pressure began to come to the Villarreal players. Coach Luis Garcia also immediately replaced striker Gerard Moreno with centre-back Murray. There is only one thing that Villarreal needs to do now, and that is to defend. Lin Chen's goal this time also completely sounded the alarm for the manager of Villarreal. Before this game starts, Luis Garcia has also watched many Lin Chen's game videos, and he knows Lin Chen's horror very well. If the defense makes a mistake again, Lin Chen will definitely be able to continue to score. Therefore, the top priority must be to do a good job of defense. After Murray came on, he also immediately conveyed the coach's tactical intentions to every Villarreal player. Soon, all 11 Huangqian's players retreated to their own half. In the last 10 minutes, for the yellow dive players, there is only one goal, that is, to die. It's a pity that in front of Lin Chen, what kind of defense is in vain. Soon. 83rd minute of the game. Lin Chen scored the second goal of the game. In the front court, Modric moved forward with the ball in midfield, and when he saw Lin Chen in the penalty area reaching for the ball, he did not hesitate and sent a straight kick at the first time. Moment. Modric's pass was as precise as a scalpel, successfully tearing through Villarreal's defense, and then appeared perfectly in front of Lin Chen. Restricted area. After Lin Chen received the football, he did not shoot at the first time. Instead, he took the lead in relying on the opponent's central defender Murray with his strong body, and then forced the ball, and at this moment, Lin Chen was like a bulldozer. Soon, two other Huangqian's central defenders also appeared around Lin Chen. Despite this, there was no way to stop Lin Chen's advance. Lin Chen's feet did not have many fancy movements, and he was completely using his physical fitness to resist. Bundesliga defenders prefer to block strikers through physical confrontation, while La Liga prefers anticipation. And most of La Liga's strikers are flexible types, or players with excellent skills and speed. Bridgehead centers like Lin Chen are rare. Lin Chen rampaged in the Villarreal penalty area, completely like no man's land. Even if 3 Villarreal central defenders confronted Lin Chen at the same time, they couldn't take advantage of anything. Ultimately, Lin Chen directly hit the defender with his body, and then raised his foot and shot angrily. Suddenly, the football smashed into the goal like a cannonball. This is simply cruel to Asenjo, the goalkeeper of the Libyan Real. Asenjo couldn't react, and could only watch the football fly into the goal. Lin Chen scored another goal. Scored twice. Lin Chen successfully scored twice in less than 10 minutes. It seems that Lin Chen has continued the excellent goal-scoring form of the Bundesliga in La Liga. Real Madrid finished the comeback, the score came to 3-4. This is completely a perfect embodiment of Lin Chen's personal ability. In the penalty area of Huangqian, Lin Chen resisted 3 central defenders and completed the shot. It's really so explosive. Now, Real Madrid fans have long been in a state of madness. Let's be honest. Since the beginning of the season, Real Madrid fans have never seen such a great game. Good ball. Lin Chen is completely incomprehensible in the forbidden area. Look at Huangqian's defensive players, it's really embarrassing. This goal efficiency is really stronger than Ronaldo. Finally, Real Madrid finally have a reliable striker. Away fan zone. Real Madrid fans were hysterically shouting Lin Chen's name. It only took Lin Chen 10 minutes to prove his terrifying goal-scoring ability to Real Madrid fans. Now, Villarreal's players have completely exploded. In this defense, Villarreal's 3 centre-backs have all done their best to interfere. It's just a pity. Still unable to stop Lin Chen's shot. This is a complete gap in strength. This guy. What a monster. After seeing Lin Chen score so easily under his own defense, the Villarreal centre-back Victor Ruiz also had disappointment written on his face, of course, more helplessness. On the pitch, Villarreal's head coach, Ruiz Garcia's face was also full of helplessness. Although he had expected that Lin Chen would also pose a threat to his goal, he never expected that Lin Chen would be able to score the second goal so easily. Villarreal's defenses collapsed completely. Huangqian's core player, Casala, who scored a hat-trick tonight, also shook his head helplessly when he saw this scene. The Spanish veteran has already done his best in this game, thinking that he could take all 3 points on Real Madrid, but with the appearance of Lin Chen, everything changed. It can be said that now Villarreal, whether it is a coach or a player, their mentality has changed 180 degrees. On the other hand, on the Real Madrid side, Coach Solari finally showed a rare smile on his face. Good ball. Lin Chen continued to attack the opponent's goal. After seeing Lin Chen score, Solari can finally relax. After the re-kickoff, Villarreal's players are completely afraid to attack. They can only make senseless passes at the back. However, for Real Madrid's players, they seem to have something to offer. Soon, a number of Real Madrid players began to press at full strength. 2 minutes later, Real Madrid midfielder Casemiro successfully completed the tire. Immediately followed, Casemiro immediately handed over football to Tony Ross. Then, Lin Chen did not receive the ball in the penalty area, but took the initiative to retreat to the top of the arc of the big penalty area, but Villarreal's defenders did not dare to be careless. 3 central defenders Alvaro Gonzalez, Victor Ruiz plus Murray. They all followed Lin Chen out of the forbidden area and appeared at the top of the arc of the forbidden area. And right at this moment, Real Madrid's other striker, Benzema, ran diagonally into the box from the left. Meanwhile, Tony Ross in midfield made a pass keenly. Moment. The football fell perfectly in front of Benzema. It's a one-knife shot. The entire Villarreal defenders followed Lin Chen to the top of the arc of the big penalty area. In the restricted area, only 2 remained. Famous fullbacks Ryan and Home Costa. But Benzema's counter-run just threw off the fullback, that is, only goalkeeper Asenio was left in front of Benzema. Real Madrid fan stands. Fans have made celebratory moves. But at this critical moment, Benzema's shot was weak. Kicked directly in the arms of goalkeeper Asenio. Real Madrid missed the perfect opportunity to extend the score. Sports 5 stations. After the commentator Shin Jian saw this scene, he couldn't help but complain, Benzema, Benzema. Such a great opportunity was wasted. If you change to Lin Chen, this ball is basically scored. In the stands, many Real Madrid fans also began to mock Benzema. Hey! Real Madrid's results are not good now, because Benzema's form is so bad, this goal did not even score, my grandma can kick it. Fortunately, now Real Madrid has Lin Chen. If you rely on Benzema, maybe Real Madrid can be relegated this season. Benzema. You simply wasted Lin Chen's running position and cruise pass. The game continues. Although Villarreal are still behind, the team is already unwilling to fight, and for most of the time, the Yellow Dive is still defensively steady. And for the Yellow Dive fans in the stands, this is naturally unacceptable. Attack. Offensive. Don't defend. Now we are the lagging side. It's really Abade, why don't you stop attacking? Hurry up and attack. Anyway, now it's 0-60 behind, why not attack? At the urging of the Villarreal fans at the scene. Finally, Villarreal's players went on the offensive again. Now, the time for the game has come to the 90th minute. At this time, the 4th official also raised the second half stoppage time sign. 5 minutes. Villarreal still has a chance. Soon. Villarreal's midfielder, Cazorla, once again received the football, despite the player's physical exhaustion. However, in order for the team to get points from Real Madrid, the veteran is still gritting his teeth to play. Real Madrid is here. Midfielder Casemiro also appeared in front of Cazorla in person. As a Brazilian beast, Casemiro's interception ability in midfield is also top-notch. However, this time in the fight with Cazorla, Casemiro could not take advantage of anything, and was directly freed by the 32-year-old Cazorla with a crotch-piercing blow. Fortunately, after Cazorla passed Casemiro, his physical strength was exhausted. The final shot was weak. Successful confiscation by goalkeeper Courtois. Followed by Courtois did not delay time, but the shield quickly opened his big feet. The football spanned after half over the ceramic court. It fell perfectly on top of Lin Chen's head. It's still on the line of the great exclusion zone. After Lin Chen stopped footballing, suddenly, the ball led the person to turn around. faced by Álvaro González and Murray's double interception. Direct shot. This time, Lin Chen did not choose to vigorously bombard the goal, but shot into the goal with a bull's ball. The football quickly flashed from the open position of Álvaro González and Murray against the lawn, and went straight to the opponent's goal. Because goalkeeper Asengo's vision was blocked by his own central defender, he did not make a save at the first time, and even Arsenal did not expect Lin Chen to kick the ground ball. When Asenjo saw the football, it was too late to react again to save. Ultimately, the soccer ball hit the inside of the goalpost mercilessly and then bounced into the goal. In stoppage time at the end of the second half, Lin Chen once again scored. 5-3. The suspense is completely gone. Hat-trick. The score is 5-3. It only took Lin Chen 15 minutes to successfully complete the hat-trick, Xin Jian said in an incredulous tone. And at the moment, in the away fan zone, Real Madrid fans were also shocked. OMG. Is Lin Chen really an earthling? That's too strong. 15 minutes hat-trick, and it's still the first game. Lin Chen has only been running in with the team for half a day. It's not easy. Real Madrid finally welcomed a reliable goalscorer. Real Madrid is a champion. Chapter 89. Lin Chen starts. Real Sociedad was kicked dumbfounded. This also scores goals? With a whistle from the referee, the game was over. Real Madrid, who played away from home, relied on Lin Chen's hat-trick in the last 15 minutes to easily defeat their opponents. Success and victory. After the end of the game, Lin Chen was also elected the best player of the game without suspense. All the Real Madrid players came to Lin Chen for the first time to celebrate. Meanwhile, away fans in the stands. Thousands of Real Madrid fans also shouted Lin Chen's name loudly. Tonight, Lin Chen can be said to have completely conquered the fans of Real Madrid in 15 minutes. At the post-match press conference, Real Madrid coach Solari was also crazy about Lin Chen's play this evening. I've never seen a player with such horrible goal-scoring efficiency. Lin Chen only played for 15 minutes, but he managed to score a hat-trick and score a goal in almost 5 minutes, which is incredible. As strong as Messi and Ronaldo, winner of the Ballon d'Or, there is no way to do it. He's going to be a Real Madrid legend, and I believe he has that quality. It can be said that for Solari, Lin Chen seems to be his lifesaver. As long as Lin Chen can maintain his form tonight every game, Solari will not only not leave class, but may become the best manager in Real Madrid's history. For Libyan Real, tonight's game was full of spectators. After the game, Luis Garcia, as the head coach of the Yellow Divers, also commented on the game. The team took the lead very early. Cazorla completed his first hat-trick of the season, and before Lin Chen did not play, we seemed to be on the right path. However, everything changed with Lin Chen's arrival, and he broke through our goal 3 times in 15 minutes. I can say responsibly that this is not a problem with Huang Qian's defense, but Lin Chen's offensive ability is too terrifying. Lin Chen broke the goal record in the Bundesliga. I believe that after Lin Chen comes to La Liga, he can also break the goal record in La Liga. Let's wait and see. Although Luis Garcia is the head coach of Villarreal, after passing this game, Luis Garcia also completely became a fan of Lin Chen that night. Lin Chen's name has completely become a hot search on major social media. Hot search first, Lin Chen's hat-trick. Hot search third, Lin Chen, 15 minutes. Hot search fourth, Lin Chen Real Madrid wins. Hot search sixth, Lin Chen scored on his debut. Even, the official Twitter of La Liga posted a picture of Lin Chen celebrating his first goal, with the caption, "Can Lin Chen record La Liga?" in the comment area. The fans were also noisy. A large number of Barcelona fans and Real Madrid fans attacked each other personally. But whether it's Barcelona or Real Madrid fans, they all have one thing in common. That is, Lin Chen is really powerful. Spain's major sports newspapers also published articles praising Lin Chen after the game. Marca News, Lin Chen's debut, 15 minutes hat-trick, led Real Madrid to victory. As Real Madrid's new king, Lin Chen killed all sides, made his hat-trick debut, and burst Huang dive. World Sports News, post-Ronaldo era times Real Madrid's new big killer. Can Lin Chen next Cristiano Ronaldo? Catalan newspaper, Real Madrid finally wins. Can the Bundesliga goalscorer get Real Madrid out of the quagmire? Daily Sports News, super striker from Huagua, debut hat-trick. He will surpass Messi and Ronaldo. For a while, almost the entire La Liga league began to talk frantically about this Lin Chen in China. Understand that the net also follows the traffic. Less than 5 minutes after the end of the game, he has published a number of reports on Real Madrid and Lin Chen. Battle report: Chinese player Lin Chen came off the bench and scored 3 goals in 15 minutes to help Real Madrid take all 3 points. After the game, Solari said that Lin Chen will become Real Madrid's new king. After the game, the debut took only 15 minutes to complete the hat-trick. Lin Chen is the first person in the history of the Real Madrid team. Fan prediction: 80% of fans believe that Lin Chen will win this season's La Liga goalscorer king. La Liga is going to change the sky? Real Madrid moved up to 7th place in La Liga and still have the hope of winning the title. In the comment area, fans also left messages praise. Lin Chen really gave us Chinese people a long face. Hey, at the beginning, I was worried that Lin Chen would not adapt to the rhythm of La Liga. It seems that this is redundant. 15 minutes hat-trick. If Lin Chen plays in the domestic league, it is simply unimaginable. A superstar as strong as Messi and Ronaldo can't make his debut with a hat-trick of 15 minutes. Now Real Madrid still have a chance to win La Liga and the Champions League. I hope Lin Chen can win more doubles. Although I am a Barca fan, I am more Chinese, so I support Lin Chen. Whether in Spain or in China, Lin Chen has become a topic of conversation among fans after tea. But in the face of the praise of fans and the media, Lin Chen was very talkative. After the match with Villarreal, Lin Chen did not accept any journalists or media interviews, but concentrate on training. Soon, a week later, Real Madrid are finally welcoming their home game. La Liga Round 18, Alien Horse vs Gogia Society. No doubt. Because of Lin Chen's joining, this mediocre La Liga league has also become the focus of this round of La Liga. Before Lin Chen joined Real Madrid, Real Madrid's record is very bad, so this has allowed the Bernabeu to record attendance levels. But tonight, tickets to the Bernabeu can be described as hard to come by. Real Madrid fans can't wait to see Lin Chen on the spot. Meanwhile, in China, there were also a large number of fans waiting in front of the TV at 4 a.m. They are also looking forward to Lin Chen being able to kill all sides at the Bernabeu. Real Sociedad are currently in 9th place in La Liga, only 6 points away from Real Madrid. Real Sociedad has always been a La Liga powerhouse, and this team has been in La Liga since 1928, becoming one of the first league teams in La Liga. In its first season, Real Sociedad finished 4th in the league. After entering the 80s of the 20th century, Real Sociedad also ushered in the most glorious period of the team. The team won the league twice. After entering the dry Jubilee year, Real Sociedad brought in a number of high-quality foreign players to help him become runners-up in the league in the 2002-2003 season. However, the good times did not last long, and in the 2006-2007 season it was only 19th in La Liga. After 3 seasons, the early club successfully won the Spanish football second division in the 2009-2010 season. Appeared on the stage of La Liga again. This season, Real Sociedad, led by manager Imanol, are in hot form and have fled the relegation zone early, and even Real Sociedad have a chance to storm European qualification this season. 8 o'clock in the evening local time. The stands at the Bernabeu Stadium have long been crowded, and tens of thousands of fans are eagerly waiting for the start of this big battle. And at the moment, inside the players' tunnel, the starters of both teams are also waiting to enter the field. In the studio of Sports Channel 5, commentator Shin Jianqi began to introduce the starting lineups of the two teams at this time. In the 18th round of La Liga, Real Madrid's home game against Real Sociedad is about to start, so let's introduce you to the starting list of the two teams. On the Real Madrid side, Courtois in goal, for defenders, Marcelo, Ramos, Varane, Carvajal. In midfield, it is composed of Modric, Toni Kroos, Casemiro, and Vázquez. On the forward line, it is Benzema's partner Lin Chen. Tonight, manager Solari changed his formation from 433 to 442. And on the side of Real Sociedad, playing away from home, the goalkeeper position is Rulli, for defenders, Munoz, Diego Llorente, Hector Moreno, Haristondo. 3 midfielders, Suratusa, Ibiaramendi, Marino. 3 strikers, Januzaj, William Jose, Oyarzabal. Looking at Real Sociedad's starting lineup, Real Sociedad doesn't want to shrink the defense tonight, but wants to take all 3 points at the Bernabeu Stadium. At the moment, the two teams are in 7th place in La Liga with 31 points, while Real Sociedad are 9th in La Liga with 25 points. For Real Madrid, although the form of this season is average, only 31 points, ranking in the middle of La Liga, a total of 10 points away from the top Barcelona, but the second half of the league has just begun. Real Madrid still has a lot of hope to achieve a headwind. Inside the player tunnel. At this time, the starters of both teams, led by the refereeing team, stepped into the Bernabeu Stadium. Lin Chen walked in the last place of the team and appeared on the whistle. At this moment, Lin Chen's mood was also full of pride. As a player who came out of Real Madrid's youth academy, naturally, Lin Chen's dream is to be able to stand on the stage of the Bernabeu and play. And now, Lin Chen's dream has come true. He looked at the Bernabeu Stadium full of fans and was very excited. I have to prove myself on the best pitch in the world. This is Lin Chen's new goal. He wants to help Real Madrid regain its glory. Real Madrid fans also shouted Lin Chen's name hysterically at this moment. Since Lin Chen completed a hat-trick in 15 minutes in the last game, Lin Chen has become the hope of Real Madrid fans. Lin Chen, Lin Chen, Lin Chen. Of course. There are more Real Madrid fans who are not familiar with Lin Chen's personal ability. Only know that he is a child of Real Madrid, a super goalscorer who broke records in half a season in the Bundesliga. Xingma's rice seekers are looking forward to seeing Lin Chen have a wonderful performance tonight. After the players from both sides shook hands and greeted each other, the battle was about to break out. After the start of the first half, Real Madrid, playing at home, also immediately controlled the pace of the game. Real Madrid's formation tonight. It's a 4 midfielder, so Real Madrid is obviously better than Real Sociedad in terms of control in midfield. 3 minutes later, Real Madrid launched a long pass. Midfielder Modric took a long pass and found Lin Chen on the forward line very accurately. However, Lin Chen was in the back to catch the ball, and there was a way to shoot directly. Can only knock the football back to Toni Kroos. The German core shot directly to the ball, but unfortunately the football flew directly out of the bottom line. Apparently, Toni Kroos was in fairly average condition tonight. Afterwards, Modric also tried a shot, which also ended without success. After attacking for 10 minutes. At present, the score is still 0-0, and several shots have not been scored, which has also made Real Madrid's midfielders start to worry. And this also invisibly gave Real Sociedad players a chance. Suddenly, Real Sociedad striker Januzaj finished the tackle from under Casemiro's feet. After the former snatched the football, he strode towards the Real Madrid penalty area. Fortunately, the speed of Watermaster Ramos' defense is quite excellent. Directly sideways to complete the tackle. Immediately after, Real Madrid also began to take the initiative to raise the rhythm of the game. Ramos, who has just made a great contribution to the defensive end, also took the initiative to advance with the ball, and when he attracted the attention of 2 Real Sociedad players, he decisively divided the football to Modric in midfield. And this time, the 2 players in the front line of Real Madrid, Benzema and Lin Chen, also began to accelerate. Modric immediately sent a long pass. The drop point is in the area controlled by Benzema. This time, the Real Madrid number 9 tried his best and finally snatched the first point. Unfortunately, the defenders in front of Benzema were also in place and had no chance to shoot, so Benzema did not hesitate and immediately passed the football to Lin Chen in the penalty area. The only thing that falls short is Benzema's pass was a bit big this time, and when Lin Chen received the football, he was already near the bottom line on the right side of the big penalty area. Basically, already at 0 angle. If you want to score, it is very difficult. The defensive player responsible for keeping an eye on Lin Chen also thought that Lin Chen could not shoot, so he focused on the inside to prevent Lin Chen from passing the ball. But Lin Chen did the opposite. Instead, he made a shooting motion. I saw that after Lin Chen received the ball, he glanced at the goalkeeper's position and took a second. Lin Chen immediately raised his foot and shot angrily. Quick as a wink. Football is like a bolt of lightning. Quickly fell into the goal. 0 angle shot. The ball went in. Real Sociedad goalkeeper Rolly reacted fast enough, and when he saw Lin Chen make a shot, he also made an immediate save. Or Lin Chen to shoot faster. The football flew straight from the top of Rol's head and into the goal. 1-0. Lin Chen helps Real Madrid take the lead. Real Sociedad goalkeeper Rolly looked at the football flying into the goal, and his face was also full of doubts. How is it possible? This obviously has no angle. The other Real Sociedad defenders also looked at each other, obviously unable to believe that Lin Chen would shoot near the baseline, let alone believe that the football had actually scored. 0 angle shot. It's really incredible, near the bottom line, Lin Chen's explosive shot actually flew into the goal. Let's watch it again in slow motion. Wow, sure enough, it is already at a 0-degree angle. Lin Chen's football almost wiped the inside of the goalpost and flew into the goal, and through slow motion, the football with a trace of arc, it is really too strong. Fortune. Sure enough, as long as Lin Chen is allowed to receive the ball in the penalty area, he can almost score a goal. Sports 5 commentator, Xin Jian was amazed. Also impressed were the Bernabeu fans. Real Madrid fans stood up to applaud Lin Chen, and even some fans in the stands behind the goal were holding their heads in their hands to express their shock. It's worthy of being the Bundesliga goalscorer king, this shot is really strong. It's not easy, Real Madrid finally have a strong center forward. Lin Chen not only has the body of a high school forward, but also has the delicate footwork of a midfielder. Chapter 90. That bright red at the Bernabeu Stadium. The audience shook. He can really score. On the bench. Several of Real Madrid's biggest names were also shocked. Especially Asensio, Bale and other players, because they are all strikers, so they know very well how difficult Lin Chen's shot was just now. Scoring goals in this position, these draws are impossible things. It's a completely 0-degree angle shot. It's so strong, I can only score in this position in training. The young Asensio sighed. On social media in the country. Less than 5 minutes after Lin Chen scored, he successfully appeared on the hot search list. Hot search number 1, Lin Chen scored at 0-degree angle. Hot search 3rd, Lin Chen Bernabeu. Hot search 5th, Real Madrid leads, Lin Chen scores. For a while, it once again aroused widespread discussion among fans. 0 angle shot. What other way Lin Chen scored is something we don't know. This goal is almost comparable to Van Basten's 0 goal. Lin Chen's condition is really good, and he can even score goals in this position. The light of Huagua. As a Chinese fan, I am really proud. As long as Lin Chen scores, it seems that this game is won tonight. On the pitch. Real Sociedad players kick off. In the current Real Sociedad squad, the absolute core player is Ilya Ramendi, and this player is also a player who once came out of Real Madrid's youth academy. Of course, the players who can pose the most threat to Real Madrid are the 3 strikers of Real Sociedad, Willian José, as well as Januzaj and Oyarzabal. Soon, Real Sociedad began to press hard. Coach Imanol put up a 3-forward formation today in hopes of attacking Madrid. 5 minutes later. Midfielders Iberia Ramendi passed the ball straight diagonally and successfully handed it to the talented Belgian striker Januzaj. When the player first debuted, he was known as Belgium's hope. There are even many Belgian media outlets that Januzaj's talent is even better than that of Hazard. Perhaps because the starting point was too high, Januzaj's career did not develop smoothly. He joined Manchester United early, but could not adapt to the high-intensity confrontation of the Premier League, coupled with frequent injuries, and finally left for Real Sociedad. But, this season, Januzaj's state in the Dry Family Society is equally average. Just 2 goals were scored in 10 games. This time, though, Januzaj showed his talent. On the left side. Januzaj continued to shake his body, and suddenly cut inside. After forcibly throwing off the Carvajal 463, Januzaj gained a foothold. Chance to shoot. But Januzaj was not confident in his shooting level, so, after 2 seconds of hesitation, Januzaj finally chose to pass. That's it. The football flew above the head of William José in front of the goal. However, the Real Sociedad centre-forward did not touch football at all. Real Madrid centre-back Ramos used his bouncing power to successfully finish before William José. Compared to Januzaj's poor form, William José has helped the Dry Family Sociedad to score 5 goals this season. There are also 2 assist stats. Overall, William José's performance is still outstanding. But in this offensive, in the confrontation between William José and Ramos, he did not have any advantage at all. In the end, the attack of Real Sociedad ended in vain. 3 minutes later, Real Sociedad is back. The player who breaks through with the ball is Oyazabal's turn. As a striker trained by Real Sociedad, Oyazabal has excellent dribbling skills as well as a certain amount of speed, and the player is quite accurate in his shots after dribbling the ball. It can be said to be a super killer on the front line of Real Sociedad. On top of that, the young player is only 22 years old. He is already worth 20 million euros. It can be said that the rising star of Real Sociedad. I saw that after receiving the football, Oyazabal immediately forced a breakthrough along the right side. He is a left-footed player, so he can completely get rid of the direct internal cut after that. Marcelo's defense is not concentrated. After Oyazabal used the emergency stop to change direction, he easily threw Marcelo away and went straight to the big penalty area. At such a critical moment, it's Shuey Ramos coming forward again. Directly unravel the football on the line of the big penalty area. As the star of Real Madrid's backline, Ramos' defensive ability is also becoming more and more mature. Now, especially after Cristiano Ronaldo left for the Apennines, Ramos almost became Real Madrid's big brother. No one can shake his position. Although the Real Sociedad players did not pose a substantial threat to Real Madrid's goal, it can also be seen that the two fullbacks of Real Madrid, Marcelo and Carvajal, are in average condition. Concentrate, Ramos shouted at his teammates. He understands. Real Madrid must not concede again. This season, Real Madrid's record is really miserable. Finally ushered in the arrival of Lin Chen, Ramos does not want to make another mistake in the defensive end. In the following time, after Real Sociedad's three-board axe ran out, there was not much to threaten Real Madrid's goal, so the two teams entered a dull period. The 34th minute of the game. Real Madrid suddenly started to make a difference. As a metronome for Real Madrid's midfielder, Toni Kroos has a super high football IQ and a big picture view. He knows exactly when to exert his strength. When he saw that the Real Sociedad players began to pay some attention, he suddenly handed the football to another core player in the midfield, Modric. As the centerpiece of the runners-up in the 2018 World Cup, Modric's form this season has been quite hot. At the same time, Modric also won last year's Ballon d'Or, successfully breaking the monopoly of Messi and Ronaldo on the Ballon d'Or. After receiving the football, Modric did not choose to pass the ball directly, but carried the ball forward. Now, the two Real Madrid strikers, Benzema and Lin Chen, are all surrounded by defenders, and if they pass the football directly to the strikers, they are likely to be cleared by the defenders. Of course, with Lin Chen's super ability to stay in the air, as long as Modric can pass the football above Lin Chen's head, then 9 times out of 10, Lin Chen will definitely grab the first point. However, at this time, Modric also did not know much about Lin Chen's technical ability, so, for the sake of safety, Modric chose to break through with the ball himself. Location in the middle of the midfield. Modric began his performance. Real Sociedad's defensive players are still particularly focused. After seeing Modric moving forward with the ball, two defensive players appeared in front of Modric. Merino plus Ibiaramendi. A barrier is formed at the top of the arc of the great restricted area. However, Modric had already predicted that the opponent would do this. He suddenly stepped on the brakes, stopped the footsteps with the ball, and directly passed the football obliquely to Marcelo on the left wing. As a Brazilian fullback, Marcelo inherited the offensive attributes of his predecessors. When football came to Marcelo's feet, the Real Madrid fullback became a winger. He forcibly used his speed to eat Real Sociedad's fullback Manius alive after a 45-degree cross. The football is hoisted into the box. Because Marcelo has been crossing for Cristiano Ronaldo for many years, he has also practiced a precise passing footwork. Really? This time, Marcelo's cross fell on Lin Chen's head without fail. This kind of pass is almost a must for Lin Chen. I saw that Lin Chen took off into the air again, beat two central defenders, Heristondo and Diego Llorente, and managed to steal the first point from the penalty spot. A Tarzan's overwhelming header smashed into the goal like a cannonball. The score has been rewritten again. 2-0. Real Madrid extended their lead to 2 goals. At the same time, Lin Chen completed the good show tonight. Scored again. It's still Lin Chen. Assist player Marcelo. In terms of high-altitude ball competition, Real Sociedad's players are obviously not Lin Chen's opponents. The score came to 2:00. According to Lin Chen's goal rhythm in the Bundesliga, I believe that the third goal will come soon. Sports Channel 5 commentator Shin Jian's mood is also quite excited. Since Lin Chen was in the Bundesliga, Shin Jian has always been a commentator. It can be said that Shin Jian has also witnessed Lin Chen's growth step by step. Comment area. Fans of Huagua also launched 666 again. Lin Chen's goal gives full play to his ability to grab points, a proper air bully. Marcelo's cross is also really stable. There are also players such as Modric and Tony Ross, all of whom are players with excellent footwork. Maybe Lin Chen can really break the record this season. Before halftime, the dry horse was already 2-0 up. Lin Chen is worthy of being the savior of dry horses. In the stands, a large number of Real Madrid fans also spontaneously shouted Lin Chen's name. Since Cristiano Ronaldo's departure, Real Madrid fans have not seen such a powerful striker for a long time. New number 7. Lin Chen, you will become the king of the Bernabeu. The new king ascends the throne. Lin Chen, we will always support you. This goal efficiency is worthy of being the Bundesliga goalscorer king. I feel that Lin Chen's goal efficiency is much stronger than Ronaldo. On the court, after Lin Chen scored, he also pointed to Marcelo for the first time. And the latter even ran to Lin Chen for the first time to celebrate the goal. Good Lin Chen, I saw the shadow of Cristiano in you. Come on, I believe you can surpass him. As we all know, Marcelo and Ronaldo have a good relationship in private, but for Marcelo, he does think from the bottom of his heart that Lin Chen's ability is stronger than Ronaldo. At this moment, in the stands of the Bernabeu, a Chinese man wearing Lin Chen's shirt was waving a bright red flag madly, shouting Lin Chen's name loudly. Because the red flag was too dazzling, Lin Chen immediately noticed it. Seeing that there were domestic fans cheering for him, Lin Chen also felt warm in his heart, and he also immediately waved his hand towards the fans. And this scene happened to be captured by the broadcast camera. For a time, it also made domestic fans envious. Wow! I really envy if I have the opportunity, I must also go to the Bernabeu to watch Lin Chen's game. It's fantastic to be able to see Chinese players score goals at the Bernabeu. Pilgrimage. Must make a pilgrimage to the Bernabeu. Lin Chen actually waved at the fans. I'll go. I was really impressed. Real Sociedad's mentality has begun to break down a bit. After conceding consecutive goals, the mentality of Real Sociedad players gradually became impatient. After the re-kickoff, Real Sociedad players expect to score as quickly as possible, but the more they want to score, the more likely they are to make mistakes. Really? In the middle of a backfield pass, central defender Diego Llorente passed the football directly behind Merino, and Casemiro, who was ambushed behind Merino, decisively grabbed it. The steal was easily completed. Then, immediately following, Casemiro immediately handed the football to Benzema on the forward line by kicking the ball straight through. After Benzema saw that Lin Chen had quietly scored 2 goals, he was also eager to prove himself. After receiving the football, he immediately sprinted 100 meters into the Real Sociedad penalty area, and at the same time, Diego Llorente, who had previously made a pass error, hurried back to defense. Relying on the pull strap, he successfully stopped Benzema's shot. Once again, Benzema missed the perfect goal. In the stands, the fans of Real Madrid also sighed when they saw this scene. Hey! Benzema passed the football to Lin Chen early. To be honest, Benzema is to blame for Real Madrid's poor form this season. Benzema has failed to score more than once this season. After appreciating Lin Chen's goal, and then looking at Benzema, I feel that these two players are not in the same grade at all. In the blink of an eye, the time of the game has come to 40 minutes. There are 5 minutes left until the end of the first half. The players of Real Sociedad began to press hard. They tried to hope to score a goal in this final stage to mitigate the disadvantage in the second half. So, in this attack, almost all 8 Real Sociedad players were present at Real Madrid's halftime. But on the side of Real Madrid, in addition to Lin Chen, the remaining 10 players also retreated to their own half. Real Madrid began to put up a bus to defend. Seeing that there is no way to break through Real Madrid's defenses, Real Sociedad's players can only take a simpler and more direct approach to play. Surtusa, the number 17 player in midfield, directly opened his big foot and passed the football into the Real Madrid penalty area. He hopes to take advantage of William José's height and head straight into the goal. William José's height has reached 189 centimeters, and in the La Liga arena, he is indeed a relatively tall center forward. Of course, he is still a little shorter than Lin Chen. Restricted area. William José lived up to expectations and indeed successfully snatched the first point. But Real Madrid's defensive players are in place. Varane plus Ramos. Two world-class centre-backs appeared simultaneously on the left and right sides of William José. Almost jumped at the same time as William José. Although William José snatched the first point, most of William José's power was spent against the two Real Madrid central defenders. At the moment, William José no longer has enough strength to complete the header. In the end, Wilhelm José's weak header this time was directly easily won by goalkeeper Courtois. In the opponent's half, Lin Chen has also been observing the situation in his own penalty area, when he saw Courtois take the football all the way down. Also immediately raised his right hand, and at the same time took a step back, just in front of the Real Sociedad's central defender, not in an offside position. Courtois decisively took a long pass. Moment. The football appeared in front of Lin Chen. Not offside. I saw that after Lin Chen snatched the football, he rushed thousands of miles. Taking advantage of his speed, he forcibly threw off the defender and then entered the opponent's penalty area. Face this one-handed opportunity. Lin Chen easily pushed into the far corner to score. 3-0. Lin Chen completed the hat-trick again.